The scene is set for some beautiful football on a beautiful day here in November in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Hello and welcome on into Carlisle Faulkner Field at Roberts Stadium, also known as The Rock. I'm Julie Stewart-Banks, soon to be joined by my broadcast partners, Noah Kozlov and Max Starks. This is the site of today's Conference USA matchup. We have Marshall Thundering Herd taking on the University of Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Two teams in very different positions right now, but both looking to improve on their records down the stretch. Now, before we get into the football side of things, let's talk about this broadcast. It's a little bit different. It's on Facebook, of course, meaning you can comment and we can read your comments and questions. We also want to see photos from Instagram using the hashtag HerdVSUSM, Herd versus USM, where you're watching the game from, if you're with your dog, your friends at a tailgate. We want to see it, and then we'll show it on our broadcast. Now, let's take a look at some of the great things that we have been doing while in Hattiesburg over the last couple hours, of course. Now, I got a chance to get my photo with Brett Favre, or rather, just a picture of him. Of course, he is an alumni here that everyone knows about. We also had a great production dinner at Cotton Blues. You see there the crew eating very well last night. And as well, our crew for today's game, as I mentioned, Noah Kozlov and Max Starks, aka our father in this broadcast, are here for you the entire time. So send us your photos, and we want to show them throughout the entire day. Now, as you can see, it is absolutely beautiful. It's 73 degrees. It's sunny, not a cloud in sight. Now, it's also the perfect setting for a rematch of what was last year's chapter of this rivalry. Now, it was a back-and-forth affair between these two teams, and Southern Mississippi really held on in the driver's seat for a majority of that until late in the fourth quarter. It was the Herd that had a comeback. Chase Litton was able to connect with Ryan Urachek and almost tied things up later in the game, but then what happened was one of the most unconventional plays in football, and that is when we see a fumble on the extra point, and the holder at the time, Jackson White, unable to set it up for the kicker. He tries to make a play. It's intercepted, and of course, Southern Mississippi comes away with the win, 28-27. We spoke with both coaches about it. Doc Holliday said that loss was unacceptable at that time as well. They didn't even want to be in that position to leave it that late in the game. And Jay Hobson for the Golden Eagles said that was last year, it was great, but this year it's new and we have a whole new set of problems to focus on, of course, that being in today's game. Now let's send things up to our broadcast booth to Noah and Max to talk more about what we're going to see.
Thanks, Julie. That was my post on Instagram. Thanks, Dad. It's Bring Your Kid to Work Day
You're
today.
welcome.
Noah Kozlov and two-time Super Bowl champion Max Starks, and one kid who's not here today for Marshall. It's their leading rusher, Tyler King.
Yeah, Tyler King is going to be sorely missed. When you think about this Marshall team, it's running the football effectively and not having their leading rusher is going to present some different challenges, but there's some guys who are going to step up, I think, in that backfield to help compensate for his loss.
And for Southern Miss, no Jack Abraham. The starter is going to be in his first ever start. It's Tate Wadley.
Yeah, Tate Wadley, Jack Abraham obviously still nursing an injury and a lot of plays, over 2,000 yards passing. So Tate Wadley making his first start, but he's actually thrown the football a couple of times, so he's not going to be totally brand new. Look for him to have a really good game today.
And it is a beautiful day to do anything in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And we've got Conference USA football coming up next on Facebook.
Welcome to big-time college football. It's going to God! It's a touchdown! The play of the day in college football. I can't believe what I just saw.
No clouds in the sky here today in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The University of Southern Mississippi, the home of the Golden Eagles, taking on the visiting Marshall Thundering Herd. The band is playing. It's Military Appreciation Day. Plenty more on that throughout the broadcast. The Marshall fans have traveled from Huntington, West Virginia to join the tailgaters here on campus in Hattiesburg. And in the Conference USA West Division, there sits Southern Miss, and that record may not be indicative of how the team has played. Just turnovers have led to just 3 wins and 4 losses. And Marshall sitting at 3-1, 5-2 overall in the East. They're being close attention to FIU at FAU, which is later on today on Stadium. And welcome inside the broadcast booth once again, Noah Kozlov alongside two-time Super Bowl champion Max Starks and Canada's finest Julie Stewart-Binks will join us on the sidelines throughout the broadcast. And for this one, Marshall's coming off a bye. They've won 3 of 4, and Southern Miss just can't help but turn the ball over. So give me a key to the game on both sides.
Well, I think you put it nice and easy. It's Southern Miss. Don't turn the ball over in the red zone or deep in your own zone. And then for Marshall, it's going to keep on doing what you've been doing. Alex Thompson has to feel comfortable in the pocket. Expect him to open up the passing game a little bit more with the absence of Tyler King.
All right, so let's talk about Alex Thompson, the Southern Miss quarterback who is making his, the Marshall quarterback who's making his 4th straight start.
Yeah, Alex Thompson is a guy that the team feels very comfortable with. He brings a calmness to the pocket, one coach said, and he's very versatile. He's a tall frame. You're looking at a 6'6" body type in the backfield, very precise. Look for him to now open up the offense a little bit more in the passing area. You look at the numbers through 3 games, going into his 4th, a little bit better than 150 yards. Expect him to be closer in that 200 range. I think they'll take more targets. And this guy, Tyree Brady, will be his main focus. Coming on the season, 46 receptions by far and away. Their leading receiver and their pretty much go-to guy when things go wrong. There are some other guys on this team that will look to spread the ball around, but Tyree Brady is the first option, I believe, when they're thinking about throwing the ball in the air.
And as I said before, they might be throwing the ball a little bit more without their leading rusher, Tyler King. And on the defensive side, Malik Thompson, who 2 weeks ago was the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Week for this performance against FAU.
And Malik Thompson, from the defensive tackle position to have those numbers is truly remarkable. He had sacks, he was in the backfield, but his pressure and the way he chased down receivers down the line, as you see on the interception, makes him an exceptional defensive lineman. The hustle, the grit, he's going to get a lot of opportunities and passing opportunities today to rush the quarterback.
All right, so Max, let's go to the other side. For Southern Miss, he's now making his first career start. It's a true freshman in Tate Watley. What do you expect?
Tate Watley, Orlando native. I can take a lot of pride in that. Being in the Lakeland area, we'll take Lakeland with us in Orlando. But Tate Watley is a guy that a lot of people have compared to an Austin Davis type. He's a guy who can stand in the pocket and throw, but really good on the run. And plus, he has the ability to rush the football. So he's a guy that defenses have to be disciplined and not allow him to break contain because he can make plays with his feet and his arm. So look for him to be on the move. A lot of short passes early in this contest to get him comfortable.
And he loves going to Quez Watkins. So we talked about Tyree Brady. For Marshall, Watkins and Brady tied for first in Conference USA, just about 6.5 receptions per contest.
Yeah, Quez Watkins is the do-it-all guy for Southern Miss. You see the numbers. He's the leading receiver for this team, but he's also a kick returner and a punt returner as well. So he's a very big threat for this offense in getting things done, and expect Quez Watkins to be a focal point for the young Tate Watley.
All right, the focal point of our broadcast, Julie Stewart-Binks. Go back down to the sideline. Julie, what do you have coming up today?
Well, no, we've got plenty of great stories we're going to bring you throughout the broadcast, including one member of the herd that has Aaron Rodgers as a doppelganger. Who do you think that is? As well, we're going to check in and see what Southern Mississippi is doing for Military Appreciation Day, as well as a Golden Eagle who's not only playing football, but also completing his MBA degree. But first, Marshall's football program is using a unique technique to get their guys going. This is called Mission Takeaway from defensive coordinator Adam Fuller. Every time they have a takeaway, they put it up on the wall outside of the locker room. 15 different guys have had an interception, a forced fumble, or a fumble recovery, and this has really helped them become 13th in the nation. They're 4-0 when they're able to have 2 or more takeaways, 9-0 overall, and this is going to be huge for them today against a Golden Eagles team that has not done well with ball security. They've turned the ball over 19 different times, so we'll have to see who wins that battle on the field here today, Noah.
Hey fans, did you know that you can stream college football all season long with Sling TV for only $25 per month? Only 25 bucks. Try Sling TV for free right now at sling.com. Restrictions apply. Southern Miss head coach is Jay Hobson in his 3rd year, the 50-year-old. Been to 2 bowl games, 1-1 in those bowl games in his third season, 18 and 15 overall. The defensive backs coach at Marshall from 1996 through 2000, and got a close relationship with Marshall's head coach Doc Holliday in his 9th season. The 61-year-old has been at Marshall for 9 years. He was at WVU at West Virginia for 20 years, mostly coaching the wide receivers. These two have a great history. Set for another chapter here this afternoon.
Yeah, looking at Doc and Jay, these are two guys who share very similar philosophies. Jay being under Doc and trying to apply those same principles here at Southern Miss. So the mentee, the mentor, is going up against the mentee. So a great contest is underway.
Got 22 on the field, and everybody else with a nice view. Southern Miss set to receive, and we are underway with DeMichael Harris. Takes the ball across the 15. Harris has a head of steam across the 25 to the 30, and he's brought down to the 32.
Great return there by Harris. The one thing I love when you come off a kickoff return, you set the middle of your return unit and then you make a decision at their heels. And a great job by Harris to cut to the left and get that additional yardage and give Southern Miss a lot of nice breathing room here, starting the ball out on their own 32-yard line.
So Tate Watley under center with Travinsky, Mosley, and Steven Anderson in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to open up for Southern Miss. Fake the handoff, and Watley can move. Watley across the 40. Watley down to midfield.
And a great job. This is one of the things they said. They like when Tate Watley is in the backfield because he gives you that option with his feet. And right here, he reads the defensive end who closes down. He pulls it, knowing that the running back will go down, and he takes it out the back door for a big gain.
So 18 yards on the rush from Watley, 1st and 10. Watley will keep it again, and he is brought down by Ty Tyler.
And Ty Tyler paying more attention to the quarterback after that first play, and he gets a big paw in and brings Watley down for no gain.
Say hello to Gary watching from the Dominican Republic, and Joyce and Elizabeth and Kelly and Lisa all rooting for Marshall. John Brown out there for Southern Miss. Lance saying go Herd from Lancaster, South Carolina. 2nd and 10. This time the handoff is to Anderson, and brought down after a gain of a couple.
And Southern Miss going out of this pistol formation, which is not a true shotgun, it's a rundown shotgun, they call it pistol, and really utilizing the double option, meaning the handoff underneath up the middle, or he can pull it outside with the running back trailing to the outside for the pitch. So he has that triple option concept, and now this is more traditional in 3rd down.
A little bit of motion here from Anderson. Anderson gets the pass, and Anderson crosses the 40 and dives for the 1st down.
And I love the extra effort. This is a nice short pass, a little swing pass to the outside by Anderson, running to the outside, and then the extra effort of stretching, knowing where that 1st down marker is and getting over it to keep the sticks moving and to keep the ball in Southern Miss possession.
First and 10, ball in the 39. Watley pulls it back. This time goes across the field. It's Tim Jones on the reception. Picks up 5 on 1st down.
And Watley looks very comfortable there in the backfield, operating out of either the triple option or going and spreading the love to different guys. You look at on the season what Southern Miss does, and 7 different receivers with a catch on this team. It's pretty good numbers, and knowing that you can't really target on one guy, even though we know Quez Watkins is the favorite of the receiving corps.
Travis Chapman rooting for the Herd from Huntington. Barbara Johnson also rooting for the Herd. Swings it out to the right side. This time it's Mosley, the running back with the catch. Gain of a few.
And this Marshall defense is being tested on its edges with a lot of the motions out of the backfield, like Mosley swinging out to the right. You see a lot of horizontal game early to get Watley comfortable behind the offensive line and passing the ball out, getting it out on time, and they're having a lot of success right now with that approach.
36.5%, not so great on third down this year, 1 for 1 so far this afternoon. But Jones in motion, and it's the handoff to Mosley. Mosley pushed out of bounds by Chase Hancock.
And if we look at this replay, the foot speed of Travinsky Mosley is on display here. Not a lot of yards, but you look at how the defense is trying to knife in on angles, going with the motion of the quarterback and then running the misdirection to the backside. This is something where, as a defense, if I'm Marshall, I've got to stay disciplined on my keys, especially at the edges, because this is what Southern Miss is trying to do, trying to break their contain because they know they have the foot speed in the backfield.
Going for it on fourth down here. They're 6 for 12 on the season on fourth down. But before they snap the football, Jay Hobson calls timeout.
Timeout.
Like this decision here?
I like the decision. I think you have to strike first when you've had this much success. You know, you start on the side of the 30, you're marching inside of their 40-yard line. You're at a very pivotal point. You're right outside of the field goal mark, but you're not close enough to hit it, and you're still a little bit too close to punt it. So get a look at their defense, almost like a freeze frame, by going to a timeout and see what your best options are and talk through with Tate Watley. Probably send him in with 2 different plays, a run and a pass option, to come into the game and see what's best.
So coming up after us, it's the Shula Bowl. FAU visits FIU. You can catch that game on Stadium, 7:30 Eastern. The only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium, welcome to the game. Got FIU has won their last 3 at home against FAU. Devin Singletary leading FBS with 15 rushing touchdowns. Although the team has a losing record. Last running back to lead the country in rushing touchdowns, the losing record was Ricky Williams at Texas. Out wide, and it is a first down. It's Chris Watkins across the 29.
And running that jet sweep, Quez Watkins, your utility do-it-all man, taking the jet sweep on fourth down. But great blocking here. Drake Dorbeck and Jayshon Washington on the edge to really secure it and give him that extra yardage he needed around the edge. So great call by Southern Miss to keep the possession.
Yeah, with so much movement also going along on that offensive line. Nice job by that line in order to seal the outside. Pulls it back for Mosley, and Watley will run. Watley gets to about the 24.
Watley getting it done with his feet on this drive. You think of the first big run that he pulled it out the back door. Once again, doing it again. Reading this defense, seeing if that defensive end is going to close or if he's going to contain, determines whether the quarterback's going to hand the ball off or keep it underneath.
Marshall has not allowed a touchdown in the first quarter this season. You want to go back to last season, it's been 10 straight. We've only allowed 12 total points in that stretch. LSU with the longest mark in the country at 12, and now LSU's got a big challenge against an all-time offense tonight in Alabama. If they can hold them without a touchdown in the first quarter, I'm sure Ed Orgeron will take it. And this time, Watley is brought down by Channing Hames in the backfield. That's Hames' 3rd.5 sack of the season.
And Hames does a great job of beating the right guard on a slip move and just getting his hands on him. You look at the numbers on the year for Hames, very active, very effective in the backfield, and that's the way that you want to affect this Southern Miss offense. You must get in the backfield. You must disrupt the rhythm of this team, because right now they have a great rhythm.
Hey, Billy Keene, I'm sorry you can't keep the picture on the broadcast. I guess find a better Wi-Fi signal? I'm not sure.
Yeah, check your ISP or
Could
internet
be.
service provider.
11th play of the drive. And the play clock has run out.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
So a
Third
delay
down.
game. Push Southern Miss back 5 yards to make it 3rd and 12.
And that's a tough penalty to take when you're driving and you've got momentum to now take a 5-yard penalty after a sack play. That's where you start to see the freshman kind of come out, trying to get the communication from the headset and display it out to the rest of his team, because this is a no-huddle team. That's something that rarely happens.
Steve Black, glad you got a good picture there in South Point, Ohio. Watley ahead, spins around one, and he's brought down by Ryan B.
And a good job of Watley to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and they run out Parker Schonfield very quickly, but great job of him to stay between the hashes as well. Give him an easiest shot as possible at the field goal in the middle of the field.
Parker Schonfield, 11 for 15 this season. This one from 45, and it's good.
Marshall stiffens their neck, but still stay undefeated in that first quarter shutout for touchdowns.
No touchdowns. Let's go down to Julie.
Hey everyone, we asked you to send us where you're watching the game from, or tell us where you're watching the game from on Facebook, and also hashtag on Instagram, Herd versus USM. Now we have Michael Gleason saying that he's watching from home with his sick MJ. Wish he could be there. Make sure you send us your comments and we'll feature them on the broadcast. Now, on the other side of the ball, Marshall quarterback Alex Thompson has become an unlikely starter in a way. He came in for Isaiah Green earlier in the season when he was injured, and he has taken on the responsibility and done so well with it. Now, he's a grad transfer from Wagner College. He's 6'6", 233 pounds, and he's already been touted as an NFL prospect, even by former NFL quarterback Phil Simms, who he worked in the offseason with in the last 2 years in New Jersey. Now, he's being compared to an NFL prospect, but he's also being compared to as a current NFL quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. You may see the resemblance between the two quarterbacks here. This is something that Thompson said he has dealt with his entire life. Strangers come up to him on the street saying he looks like Aaron Rodgers. Even a player from Middle Tennessee told him that he looked that way. When he has a beard, he says he gets it more often than not, and it's a very good person to be related to. He said that Rodgers is one of his favorite quarterbacks, but based on his size and the fact that he's a Steelers fan, he does like to emulate the play of Ben Roethlisberger or a Tom Brady. Now, we want to know from you guys, do you think that Alex Thompson looks like Aaron Rodgers? Let us know. Comment as well. Do you have a doppelganger? People have told me that I look like softball player Jenny Finch. What do you think? Noah, Max, has anyone told you you guys look like someone? Also, everyone out there, let us know if you think he looks like Aaron Rodgers and who you look like.
It's at the point now where I'm just tired of people mistaking me for Chris Hemsworth. Like around here, I've been getting more George Clooney stuff, but up north, it's a lot of Chris Hemsworth. You probably, a lot of Denzel?
No, I get the treasurer of Columbus, Ohio. The dude, I know, it's crazy.
Wait,
you pull up the picture. Google the treasurer of Columbus. That's who they think I look like.
Who knows the treasurer of Columbus,
My
Ohio?
buddies who are Ohio State fans. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. No celeb stuff.
But I do see the Jenny Finch with Julie.
Yeah, I
do
can see that as well, yep.
When I was a little kid, I used to get Fred Savage. It's Keon Davis on the return, and he's brought down across the 30. So a 7-minute and 35-second drive, the longest scoring drive of the season for Southern Miss, as the Golden Eagles up 3-0 here in the first quarter.
And we get our first look at this Thundering Herd offense with Thompson, as you said, 6'6" at the quarterback position. And by the way, I like this kid. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the comments about my former quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, or the fact that he is a big guy. So I feel a connection to him.
Well, you said he's a Steelers fan, so.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what else he has going on in his life. If someone says they're a Steeler fan, you're all for it.
I mean,
And
sometimes.
he'll throw on first down and connect with Obialo for a first down.
And this is nice, a good timing route, running the out. Alex Thompson plants his feet, delivers the ball right to Obialo. And you know, I like this because he's a 6'6" quarterback, but he's throwing to 6'+ receivers. Obialo, 6'3". Willie Johnson out there, 6 feet. Tyree Brady, 6'3". He has some tall targets to throw to as well.
And Brady is certainly that deep threat. They're doing it without Tyler King in the backfield, and that run play is snuffed out by Ladarius Harris.
And Ladarius Harris does a great job running a twist stunt with his defensive end and coming off and making a big play. This is somebody that the coaches have wanted to see more from this season. Has not produced the numbers that you'd expect from his position, but this is the guy that they expect. If they want to get this team going today and get a victory, it's going to be because Harris is active in the backfield.
Thompson throws the ball to the near side, and it's caught by Marcel Williams.
Number 9, Marcel Williams.
And this is just a nice short route to get things going. Marcel Williams coming from the slot position and just running kind of a little shallow out and a clear out when you see off coverage. And this is what you want. You want to have high efficiency passes for these quarterbacks to throw to. You saw with Watley in the last drive, short efficient passes, and for Thompson as well. Quick timing route passes to get them comfortable in the pocket today.
Southern Miss, one of the best in the country at getting off on third down, and that's exactly what they do here on the opening drive for Marshall. An incomplete pass.
And for
Looking
Thompson,
over for Keon Davis.
And for Thompson, this is what you want to see. See him go through his progression. He kind of eyed Keon Davis coming out of the backfield and still threw that even though he was covered. You want to see him go through the progression, have more than one option to throw to in there and make that decision, especially if this offense is going to get going today. You've got to be able to push the ball up the field.
Robert Lefevre back, the redshirt sophomore. Quez Watkins waits for the return, has to catch it over his shoulder, drops it. Now he's in the end zone, got to get out. And he does it to 4. Yikes.
Yowzers is the way. Look at the... And for Watkins, at this point in his mind, he has to let that go. Because that ball's sailing into the end zone. You can't pick that up because this is where they've been in trouble, is when they turn the ball over inside their own 10.
Almost big-time trouble. Let's go down to Julie.
Well, guys, we asked the crowd and the fans to send us photos of where you're watching the game from, and we have a very cute photo coming in here. You can't go wrong with dogs. We've got Mookie and Cooper French Fry saying, "We are Marshall." This is Mookie the Frenchie, Seattle, Big Mooks, hashtag Let's Go Herd. Guys, send us all your photos. Dogs are great. We love that. As well as with your friends at a tailgate. Use the hashtag HerdVSUSM, as well as comment on Facebook. Now, it's been a very good week for the University of Southern Mississippi, especially for a former product, Nick Mullins, a quarterback who had his start, a debut in Thursday Night Football this week for the 49ers, taking on the Oakland Raiders. And in his first 2 drives, he scored 2 touchdowns. He finished with 3 touchdowns overall, threw for 262 yards in a win of 34-3. Now, Brett Favre, his stats with Nick Mullins in their debuts are pretty similar, actually. We know Favre had a illustrious career. Maybe Mullins is on that path as well. Favre actually reached out to Mullins and congratulated him on that. He said as soon as he knew he was going to get a chance, he was going to do something with that, and that's what Coach Jay Hopson said as well. Now, another player looking to have a big debut is, of course, quarterback Tate Watley, who has already had a very big first half. He came in the 4th quarter of the last game with 6 for 6 at 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a fiery young guy. He can run, and that is certainly something that Jay Hopson wants from this team. We want to know, who do you think has had the best debut in sports? Let us know in the Facebook comments. Tell us. I think it's Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs, but that's just because I'm Canadian.
4 goals in his debut. I was thinking about actually RG3, who threw for 320 and 2 touchdowns in his debut.
That was a good debut as well. But that career didn't go the same direction.
Certainly didn't. Can't take too much from a debut, and the handoff is to Anderson again as he's brought down at about the 8. a few other debuts. I went through it last night to take a look at some, and I grew up in Philadelphia. Now, Michael Carter-Williams ended up winning the Rookie of the Year, and now he's barely collecting a check with the Houston Rockets, but he went for 22, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, 9 steals against Miami when LeBron was there in his NBA debut.
I mean, that's a good one. You know, another one, think about Cam Newton as well.
422 and 2 touchdowns and a rush. Yep.
Yeah, not bad.
Hand off again to Anderson, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A little extracurriculars here, and a few going at it.
And it looks like a fight, and where Channing Haynes was in there, the first guy in, knifing through the defense and making a play. Channing Haynes, yep, makes the play, and a couple extra guys, but this is the problem you have right here, is the extra by the linebacker. Can't really get a number on that. That comes in and gives a little extra oomph into the play. But no flags thrown, and
it looked like Haynes got a little bit of a left hook in there, huh?
Yeah, a little friendly, but you know he was there.
3rd and 8, the ball is on the 6. Watley rolls out to his right. Penalty flag down.
Easy call right there. Ja'Shawn Washington, the tight end, on the stay on the backside, trying to hold up Darius Hodge, but once the shoulders turn, you got to let go. You can't keep rolling with it.
Holding. Offense. Number 1. Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
And this is the moment where you got to let go. You cannot keep pressing the guy. The referee's right behind you. He's going to see that every single time. And stalled drive, good 3 and out by Marshall. And never a good sign when you're punting out of the back of your own end zone, because you know that you're going to give good field position to the opposition, which is Marshall.
Zach Everett back to punt. Fielded at the 37 and crossing the 30. Southern Miss trying to rip it out from Marcel Williams. A few questions about why Tyler King's not playing, and Marshall keeps those injuries. It's kind of like in hockey. They keep the injuries very close to the vest. Don't disclose much. All we're told was lower body injury.
Yeah, undisclosed lower body injury.
And he hurt himself. Remember, he came out of that game late against FAU 2 weeks ago, and Coach Holliday thought that they were going to have a fully healthy team coming into this week. Isaiah Green, the quarterback, is healthy. Tyler King did not make the trip from Huntington. Keon Davis in the backfield next to Alex Thompson. Great field position with the ball on the 28. Quick pass out wide, and nothing doing for the Marshall offense on 1st down.
And Southern Miss, one of the tops in Conference USA in pass defense. So they're very aggressive, especially at the edge positions, of a lot of foot speed to get outside. So that's why I think for Alex Thompson, get comfortable, but you're going to have to press this team a little bit further upfield if you want to have success and sustain drives.
You see how good that Southern Miss defense has been. They bailed out the offense a ton this year. The offense has turned the ball over 19 times. Thompson to the near side. Nice job by Rayshawn Mitchell to break that one up. Pass intended for Obialo.
And the Jacksonville product, Rayshawn Mitchell comes in and forces the ball, goes high into the ribcage area where Williams was trying to receive that ball, and just jars it loose.
Brings up 3rd and 10, ball on the 29.
But I got to point out, great protection by that offensive line. Thompson had a lot of time in the pocket and just moved naturally. It wasn't because of pressure. And this herd offensive line has been solid the entire season. A couple of changes, but very good nonetheless.
Marshall calls for timeout as Ryan Diamond wants a pass longer than 3 yards. He said please, and you would think that Marshall would try to do something like that on 3rd and 10. let's go downstairs to Julie.
Well, guys, we asked you to send us comments from where you're watching the game from, what your thoughts are, and photos. We're getting lots of great stuff. Right now, we have Rob Hamrick, who says, digging the helmet, Southern Miss. Now, that gets us to our next story, which it's Military Appreciation Day, put on by the 177th Armored Brigade and the University of Southern Mississippi. And this is where you're seeing the distinctive logo on the helmets of Southern Miss. There's the yellow as it pays homage to the armor branch. The blue and red represent the infantry and artillery branches, and the spearhead symbolizes tactics employed in armor warfare. Now, Camp Shelby has generously put on a bunch of different military vehicles on display here in Eagle Funland and in the Eagle Walk for people to check it out, as well as Golden Eagle fans can still participate in the Seats for Soldiers. You can donate $10 as well as to give active or inactive military veterans a chance to get to the game as well. You just saw right there the flyover that happened before the game, the C-130. It was a great experience. Everyone had a great time with it. And we want to take this moment to thank all of our troops stationed right here in Mississippi, around the country, and overseas for all of the fantastic work you do at keeping us safe. Thank you for your service. And we want to hear from you. If you're an active, inactive, retired military veteran, we want you to tell us where you're watching the game from. Send us a photo. We always love featuring our vets here on this broadcast.
Certainly echo those sentiments from Julie, and also a lot of love to families of military members who are serving or have served. The toll it takes on families being away from their loved ones, thinking about their health and safety, certainly doesn't go unnoticed.
Yes, and I have a lot of family who actively serve and who have served in the military, so shout out to my family, the Davis family and the Culps, you know, and all of our men and women in armed services. Thank you for your service. We truly appreciate it.
3rd and 10, ball in the 29. Thompson.
But look at Thompson taking a page out of the Watley playbook with the double option pull off the backside. Big fella's got some nimble feet there. A little dancing bear action. I like it.
His previous 2 starts had run the ball about 12 times per game for about 80 yards. Anthony Anderson into the game, the redshirt senior from Minnesota. And a timeout from the defense. 1st and 10, ball at the 18 with 2:27 to go here in the first quarter. Southern Miss in front 3-0. Noah Kozlov, Max Starks, and Julie Stewart-Banks with you from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
And great opportunity here for Marshall to take advantage. You're inside the 20, 1st down, new set of downs, and you can strike first in this football game.
We need your help. Not just me. I always need your help. We, as a collective, we need your help. And you can even win some cash for helping us out. So if you head over to surveystadium.com, surveystadium.com, and give us your feedback, you'll have the opportunity to win a $100 Amazon gift card. That's surveystadium.com. And I think you still qualify even if you say, I love Max Starks. I think that qualifies as
I think that puts you at the top of the list in the running.
Thompson to Obialo, and he's brought down at the 12. A gain of 6 on 1st down.
Solid gain. Thompson very quick, getting in and out of his reads, and great job. Obialo playing the inside slot to the left and just kind of sits down inside of that zone coverage and makes a move.
Marshall's been to the red zone 27 times this season. The handoff is to Anthony Anderson. Nothing doing against the line. 85% success rate, 27 trips. 16 touchdowns, 7 field goals. For some sort of perspective, that's about top 60 in the country.
Yeah, that's a good effectiveness in the red zone area, and I'm sure Doc is hoping for a touchdown this time. And solid progression here. 3rd and short, very manageable for Thompson. We'll see if he's going to hand it off or possibly a little pitch and maybe a sneak out the back door one more time.
32. The handoff is to Anderson. He gets the first down and more. Ball down to the 5.
And a great job by this offensive line to just move the line of scrimmage. If you watch right here, Levi Brown and Kane Madden do a great job of really opening up on that centered and right guard position, giving Anthony Anderson a lot of room to run.
Touchdown would be nice for Linda Darlington Lawrence and Joseph Williams, both rooting for the Herd, joining us on Facebook. But on first down, Marshall going backwards.
And leading on the play, Rakeem Booth was one of the other guys on that stop, along with Ladarius Harris. And the middle of this defense is very tough for Southern Miss. Obviously, they gave up the first down, but very active, very strong group up front.
8th play of the drive, ball in the 7. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Thompson, corner of the end zone, and it's out of the reach of Tyree Brady.
Thompson's pass is incomplete.
And Thompson just leading Brady the entire time. Brady just not enough room. Ball was thrown a little bit wide of Brady, who's 6'3" and has a great catch radius, but threw it a little bit too wide for Brady.
Matt Black, an Army veteran watching from Westerville, Ohio. Thank you, Matt. Justin Shannon Mitchell, a veteran watching from West Virginia. Thank you as well.
Obialo ISO'd at the bottom of the screen. Look for them to look at him as a potential option.
Up top, corner to the end zone, and Brady can't come down with it.
And I really like the option of Obialo ISO'd on to the left of our screen, but I see what they were looking at, the back pylon corner route to Tyree Brady. Once again, just a little bit not enough touch on there, a little bit too far on the sail for Thompson.
Justin Rohrwasser, the transfer from the University of Rhode Island, 7 for 10 on the season. Make it 8 for 11. And we're tied at 3.
Don't close your eyes. College football isn't over until we say it is. Utah State, Hawaii, midnight Eastern, exclusively on our app. You can't watch anywhere else. Pass the Hawaii test with us. You can sleep in tomorrow. Plus, you get extra off sleep thanks to the end of daylight saving time. Turn back the clock. Love, McDonald, Hawaiian shirts. Mountain West Late Night is just getting started. Let's go.
Well, welcome back, guys. We asked you to send your photos of where you're watching the game from, and we asked you to include some dogs if you got dogs, because we love that. We've got one for you here now. This is from Ashley Barabo saying, Ella from Huntington loves the Herd. It's a cute little dog who is a Herd fan. You can see her right there. We're getting lots of Herd dog fans. Let's see some Golden Eagle dogs out there. Make sure you send us that on Instagram, hashtag Herd versus USM. We also have some comments on Facebook. Christina Ray Gore Lana says, let's go Herd. P.S. She asked me to include pronunciation so that when she becomes famous, we'll know how to say her name. Well, good luck on becoming famous. We're all trying to do that, aren't we? All right, now let's get back to the game. Jay Hobson, head coach of USM, and defensive coordinator Tim Billings. They know Marshall very well, of course, on the field, but they spent some time there back in the day. They were there for 5 years as an assistant coach for Hobson, 10 years for Billings. They were there during an incredible era Coach Hobson told us this is when he was able to coach Chad Pennington, who he called a very good leader, and Randy Moss. He said when he saw Moss the first time ever, he said, this is the best athlete I've ever seen. Now for Tim Billings, he said these were some of the best years of his life. He won 120 games in 10 years, was in contention for 5 national championships. He said that's not normal. It was a special time, and I will always remember it. Marshall's a special place to me.
Second quarter about to begin, as we're tied at 3 after a 10-play, 22-yard drive resulted in a 24-yard field goal from Justin Rohrwasser. Appreciate you all joining us today here on Facebook. Conference USA Football Southern Miss and Marshall from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's DeMichael Harris. Takes it at the 5, and DeMichael Harris is brought down at the 15. And big hit from Terrence Ricks.
What a great job here. Wow. Lowers the shoulder, stops him completely. And both these teams, they don't like each other that much. I think a lot of it stems over from last year's game, but you've seen a lot of extracurricular by both of them after the play and leading into the play. There's something extra here, which makes for a good contest when you have those emotions flowing through this game. And both teams' first quarter, defenses played strong, keeping each other out of the end zone, but points were still converted.
So Tate Watley, the true freshman, keeps it himself. Gets just across the 15. Now Watley came into the game against Charlotte last week after Jack Abraham had thrown the 3 interceptions, and Watley went 6 for 8, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran the ball 8 times for 62 yards in his first significant playing time.
Yeah, and very tough on the backside on that last play. Counter action going to the left, and you have to seal off that defensive end. Do not allow guys to get in the backfield. That's what blows up option plays, is when you have the guy crashing from the outside.
Play clock winding down, just get the play off, and this one is airmail to the sideline. Jordan Mitchell was there, but Jordan Mitchell is not Manute Bull either.
And the reason why, Ty Tyler coming free off of the left side of the offense, free. Tate Watley's like, I'm not taking that hit. Not worried about if the guy looks around or not. He sails it all the way into the sideline.
Brings up 3rd and 11, ball in the 16. A minute gone by here in the second quarter. One for 4 on 3rd down so far this afternoon. Swing pass. It's Mosley. Mosley doing a little dance, and he's got a first down and more.
Swing pass. Out to the left, a lot of pressure immediately on the blitz. Best thing to do, swing it out to your running back, who's very mobile, and Travinsky Mosley takes over the top. But the extra effort goes to the wide receivers. As you see them stalk blocking, Drake Dorbeck, the left tackle over there as well, forcing the pile past him. So great job of getting downfield, the extra effort blocking on that play.
A whole host of herd in the backfield this time. Led by Amari Cobb.
And a blitz up the middle. You see Amari Cobb whips. Looks like the right guard there for the block. It makes the play in the backfield. Great instinctiveness. This is what you're going to have to do. If you want a team who's running the triple option, eliminate that up the middle option by dogging that backer up the A gap.
Watley under pressure. Airs it out, and it's too deep for Jordan Mitchell. Somehow, Max, in the comment section, there is a conversation going on about Randy Moss being not as good as what some may think, and we'll discuss this after the play.
That is for a different day. We don't have enough time for that one.
I mean, I just think it's nonsense.
It is, but right there on that play, pressure in the face. And you saw hands to the face, surprising. That didn't get called, but that's just the kind of extracurricular you have to expect in this contest. It's going to be a physical game. Anytime you can touch the quarterback and affect him, it looks like they'll take advantage of it.
3rd and 13. It's Mosley down to about the 30. And it'll bring up 4th down. I mean, to say that any of the quarterbacks made Randy Moss something.
It's absurd. Absurd.
Talked to Jay Hobson yesterday. He was with Moss at Marshall, and he said he called his brother after the first practice. And Hobson had come from Florida, and he said, this is the best athlete I've ever seen. And he said, wait a second, you're from Florida. He said, no, I'm telling you, this Randy Moss is the best athlete I have ever seen. And that was after the first practice at Marshall. So that should put an end to that conversation. Almost got a piece of it. And a fair catch is called at the 25.
We are stronger together.
We push each other to excel.
In the classroom,
On the field. In the community.
together we are committed.
Uplifting. Strong.
And authentic.
We are building the next generation.
And we are doing it our way. Stronger together.
Working towards the same vision.
This is the CUSA way.
Well, welcome on back to The Rock. We asked you guys to send us photos of where you're watching this game from, and we've got plenty of people sending in great material. Let's check them out right now. We've got lots of Marshall fans sending us where they're going from. We've got Bry Westfall with some kids who are all dressed up in Marshall gear. Go Herd. They're definitely in the spirit. Oh, look, we've got a nice little young fan right there cheering for the Herd here today from Bry Westfall as well. And from Tinka 7010, been cheering for the Herd since the Cretaceous era from Fairchild AFB. That is a great costume. Congratulations for being just very, very into it. Hashtag Daddy Dino. Now, speaking of Marshall players, Juwan Young and Tyree Brady are some of the best friends ever. Juwan Young said that when they were at Miami together, they were roommates, then they were roommates at Marshall, and it was actually Brady who, when he transferred here, he went to the coaches and said, you guys really got to take a look at Young. He is such a genuine guy, but he's a mean guy on the field. When you hang out with him, he's doing ab workouts, he's doing push-ups, he is so dedicated. Now, Brady, of course, is an incredible player himself. He is one of the top-rated prospects for the NFL in this Conference USA. He's got great ball control, great body contortion, and people are saying that he could potentially go as high as the 2nd round. So 2 great prospects making an impact here at Marshall.
Yeah, another good story. Thank you, Julie. You know, we had a trick-or-treater wearing that same dinosaur costume. It was one of my daughter's babysitters. It freaked her out a little bit. On 1st down, across the middle, it's Marcel Williams, and he is tripped up by Kyle Hemby.
And Marcel Williams is jumping because he knew there was nothing but pay dirt if he can break through the shoestring tackle. What a great job. You've been running the ball up the middle a lot, so pull the quick play action, run the seam route up the middle. Marcel Williams catches it in stride. And yeah, I'd be frustrated too if I could see the end zone from my view.
Hemby just got the shoestrings on it. Ball in the 45, 1st and 10. Thompson under a little bit of pressure, and he'll get rid of it.
And the Southern Miss fan catching the ball in the stands, gets a roar from the crowd. But yeah, I haven't seen the old cut block technique. The entire offensive line just shoots the legs. This is something I learned back in college a couple times, but the problem is you got to throw the ball immediately. You're going to cut that line because defensive lines are trained to hop back up off the ground when they're cut. So you have about a second to get that ball out. Great coverage by Southern Miss on the back half.
You ever do that in the league?
I've attempted a couple times, but it was never for a passing situation.
The handoff on 2nd down goes nowhere. Freeman's in there. Fundarius Freeman.
And the blocking was there, but slips off at the last second. Freeman getting in there, seeing some action because of Delmont Landry being out today. So he's getting the rotation. Big run stuffer. Look at Big Boy. Great job of shedding the block of the center and getting into the backfield.
2 for 4 on third down is Marshall this afternoon. 3rd and 10, ball in the 45. From the shotgun, Thompson looking for Brady. He's got him, and he just overthrow him. And Ty Williams on the coverage.
Yeah, Ty Williams doing a great job of sticking with the foot speed of Tyree Brady, not getting any separation from the defensive back. So Thompson has to put it out there and pray that Brady can go up, but that was just too much air on that ball, and we're seeing now the herd is up for the punting situation. Good job of getting across the 50. You can hopefully pin him deep.
Takes a Southern Miss bounce to the 25.
A lot of English on that one. Spin it back about 10 yards.
Back down to Julie.
All right, guys, well, we asked you to send in photos. We've seen lots of dogs that are Marshall fans. Now we have a dog who is a Golden Eagles fan. Oh, isn't she or he very cute? Rowdy is watching his Golden Eagles today in Gulfport. Thank you so much for sending that. Keep sending us your dogs watching the game. Who doesn't love dogs watching a game? I know I love dogs watching a game. And you know what? Who else loves dogs is, of course, the Marshall defense. This is the Off-the-Chain Award. It was created by former defensive coordinator Chuck Heater, and it's given out to the best defensive lineman who's the MVP for the week. It is the yard dog mentality. Someone who gets down and dirty, is very aggressive, and who really best represents that for the entire week. They wear it around to practices, to meetings. They bring it out during warm-ups here today. This week's winner is defensive tackle Malik Thompson. He had 9 tackles, and he had his first ever interception last week. He had 2 turnovers as well. Now, the coaches wanted everyone to know this isn't like the turnover chain or any of those other sort of gimmicky things. This is an award that best represents a player for the entire week. So it's not for a play, it's for a demeanor, and this is definitely taken very much to heart because it took me a lot to get this over here for the hit. The players think very highly of it, and it has certainly helped their defensive scheme. As we know, it has helped them in the last 2 games, and they want to bring that in here today. Guys, we want to know, what are some of the techniques that your coaches in the past have used to motivate you? I know when I was a figure skater, they used to hit me with a skate guard so that I wouldn't fall. I don't know if that was the best technique. Max, what did you guys have growing up?
Go to Max on this one. Anything that would be frowned upon in 2018?
You know, there was a paddle incident, but we won't discuss that right now.
And you can ask the announcers anything. You can use the hashtag Ask the Announcers, ask us any questions in the comments, and we'll make sure Max gets those, as I'm sure you got plenty more questions for Max. And on first down, maybe a yard.
No, you still have to answer those questions too.
Like I remember playing, basketball, like travel basketball as a kid, and our coach Sam Rhines, who was our 4th grade teacher and also a former assistant coach at LaSalle University in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like to try to get us to go up stronger, he used to smack us with like those hockey sticks you used to use in elementary school with the pads on the end. He used to scream some things at us, but nothing out of the ordinary. Watley keeps it up the middle for a few. Should bring up 3rd and 6 as he's brought down by Ryan B.
And a lot of success early in the run game for Southern Miss, and you see that number 2 Conference USA rush defense stiffening up for the herd as they haven't allowed a lot of big rushes outside of that first drive. So Watley's going to have to start looking at throwing the ball a little bit more, getting across the middle to loosen up if they want to run the ball effectively moving forward.
Mosley did a good job picking it off the turf for a moment, but Mosley comes down and he hobbles off the field.
And that's tough to see. You think of Mosley really coming into his own as a lead back for the Southern Miss team, but the Turf Monster's undefeated, loses his footing, and that right leg I'm sure is going to get looked at, because right there it kind of stuck. It didn't look like he really slipped that much, but that knee kind of twisted a little bit when he was trying to turn and make a move.
Punt comes down close to the 40 as Nick Matthews hauls in the fair catch. So things have stalled since that first drive, really, for Southern Miss. Take a look at what Marshall has done on their first 3 drives. The most successful, the 10-play drive, but just 22 yards on those 10 plays resulted in the field goal.
Yeah, and this Marshall team still trying to kind of figure out their identity under Thompson. On that one long drive, a lot of passing and rushing by Thompson that led to the success of score.
The handoff is to Keon Davis. So he's brought down by Ty Williams. And again, Marshall playing without Tyler King, the team's leading rusher at 6 yards per carry, which is tops in Conference USA. He's out with a lower body injury, has been relayed from Marshall. Did not make the trip here to Hattiesburg. Got injured late in that game against FAU when he carried the ball for 125 yards on 21 attempts. 2nd and 9. Ball in the 42. And he is brought down hard in the backfield. It's like Sangster got him.
And what a great job of the pressure to really come off the edge. Jeremy Sangster from that Mike backer position playing a spy. Just waits, pocket clears out. Thompson shows up and he has him in the crosshairs. He takes him down for a big sack, for a big loss. This is where Southern Miss really excels in defensive secondary, is when you have 3rd and long situations, these defensive backs have a nose for the ball and getting teams off the field.
3rd and 16, had Brady, overthrew him. So the big sack leads to the 3rd and 16, and it'll lead to the 3rd punt of the day from Robert Lefevre.
And Thompson had Brady turning around for a quick comeback or a hitch, and Thompson just sails. I think he miscommunication on what he saw as the coverage, because that was probably a choice route where he can either come back on a stop or come back for the hitch, or if not, double move and run the streak route down the sideline.
Fair catch called for at the 30 from Quez Watkins. So if you've got any questions for Max is he's more interesting than I am, as there's a flag on the field. I just pepper Max with questions. I haven't even known him for that long. I just ask all sorts of questions about life in the NFL, the 2 Super Bowls.
After the play,
with the Pittsburgh
unsportsmanlike
Steelers.
conduct. Receiving team, number 46. 15-yard penalty. Southern Miss keeps the ball. 1st down. Timeout.
An unsportsmanlike penalty on Nicario Harper. That sets him back 15 yards.
Yeah.
So they'll start at the 15 and welcome inside our broadcast booth. Right about the 35-yard line here at Robert Stadium. Noah Kozlov, Max Starks, Julie Stewart-Binks. You've seen plenty of her throughout the broadcast. So, all right, so let's ask the announcers. I'll ask you a question. This week is Ravens week.
Yes.
I'm getting away from this game for a moment. It's Ravens week for your Pittsburgh Steelers. How different is Baltimore week?
It's different than any other game in the season, no matter who it is, whether it's the Patriots or the Browns. The Ravens week is its own week in itself. It's a mentally challenging week because you know what's on the line, but also a very physically challenging football game coming up. This is one of those few knockdown, drag-out football games, and we look forward to it twice, sometimes 3 times a year, depending on how well these teams are. And obviously, you know, Baltimore got the best of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, but going down into Baltimore is a different animal. And look for the Steelers to be very aggressive, and it's a very physical matchup. And the person who usually comes out of that one on top usually has a lead in the AFC North. So I expect my Steelers to do well tomorrow, guys. If you're watching, go Steelers. I need them to have a big win against Baltimore.
All right, so with all the Randy Moss talk that we had, of course, the great Marshall wide receiver, any Randy Moss stories?
No, Randy. I mean, I've seen him across from me on the field, but Randy. I mean, he's just a consummate professional. He's one of those elite, rare talents. When you saw him on the field, you just knew this was greatness. I mean, I can imagine when guys saw Jerry Rice across the field, you have nothing but respect. Being an offensive player, I can appreciate the dimension that he brought to a team.
All right, so ask the announcers. You can ask us anything. Where I got this shirt, it doesn't matter. Ask the announcers in the comments section. We'll get to you. First drive for Southern Miss went for 39 yards. Not much going after that. Just a quick one to Quez Watkins. Not much going.
And this is something, you know, look at Tate Wadley. I like the fact that he's being mobile, getting outside of the pocket, trying to create things. He's always got his eyes downfield looking, whether it's a run or a pass. And right there, dumps it off for a quick, short gain. But don't take the hit if you don't have to.
4 bunched up on the near side, 1 out to the right. Watley keeps it. Wrapped up around the shoulders as he crossed the 20. Malik Thompson made the tackle, and that Marshall defense has done a good job over the past 3 drives, just not much going at all.
Yeah, outside of that first drive, 15 yards on 3 drives. Big third down here to see if they can keep the chains going and get a fresh set of downs.
Hey, Brandon, I got this shirt at the mall. Thanks for asking. Hey, Matt, a
Which
lot of
store?
people care about the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game on Sunday.
Sorry, why?
Watley is in trouble, and down he goes. Watley brought down by Chase Hancock.
Yeah, preseason first-team All-Conference USA linebacker Chase Hancock just chases it down. It's a coverage sack. Great job by the defensive backs on the back end to cover up all the receivers and force Watley into a position where he kind of stumbling, and Chase Hancock zeroes in. One of the best when he has closing speed for this Thundering Herd defense.
So another 3 and out. Marcel Williams is back, and the punt is fumbled. And this is going to lead to beautiful field position, and it's going to lead to a touchdown for Marshall. So turnover number 20 for Southern Miss on the season is a disaster.
And it's a snap goes off to the right-hand side, making it very tough. Colin Mills, the long snapper there, sails it a little bit to his right. Punter drops his eyes, and not a lot going from that point forward, but you got to secure that ball. And this is where Southern Miss has gotten into trouble this season. It's turning the ball over inside their own 10 and then in the red zone on the opposite side of the field. Great everywhere else, but this is an area of concern.
And that's Brendan Knox, who's able to hold on to it, Max. And the extra point is good to make it 10-3. It was Brendan Knox, the redshirt freshman, who's the third-string running back today. The snap barely got off the ground.
It hits over the top, ball pops out.
And I guess it's not technically Knox's first carry of the season. Doesn't have one from the backfield, but it's a scoop and score.
And punters should never run with the football, but secondly, if you are going to run and try and dive, secure that football with 2 hands. And Zach Everett, I know, is beside himself, coughing up the football and it actually turning into points immediately.
We're going to Marshall player down now. Walking off the field is number 62, Kane Madden.
And you're starting right guard. You already lost 1 guard for the season, so you hope Kane Madden, it's something that he can shake off on the sidelines and come back out and play. But if not, you got Sean Behrens from Lithia, Florida, redshirt sophomore, who is slated behind Kane Madden on the offensive line.
So again, Jay Hopson had spoke to us yesterday about just waiting for 4 quarters of football, just waiting to put together 60 minutes of football, and he's not going to get that here today. But now Southern Miss has to dig itself out of a hole. With 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, down 10-3. Bring it out from the goal line. It's to Michael Harris again. Harris breaking a few tackles, still on his feet. Harris needs to hold on to that football, and he crosses the 30 to the 31. And Hopson is fired up.
And for DeMichael Harris, this is such a great job. You think about the last kickoff return, he got plastered at the 15-yard line, but now he's just breaking through guys. 4, 5, 6 guys finally take him down. The 6th hit, but great vision running up the middle. DeMichael Harris just playing tough, keeping the shoulders forward, pumping the legs, and great starting field position for Southern Miss. In fact, they started at 32 for the first drive, their most successful drive of the game, from the 32 in the first quarter.
Watley escaping. A dangerous throw, and ball falls to the turf.
And Watley dodging through guys. This 1, 2, 3 guys trying to get a piece of him. Throws the ball up, but as a freshman, you have to understand, you can't be as cavalier with putting that ball in the air. There were 2 defenders in the area. Throw it out of bounds just to make sure you secure that that ball is not going to be a potential interception.
And a big hole across the 35 for Jordan Mitchell.
And great job here running the wide receiver screen, quick screen out the outside. Jordan Mitchell sitting at that outside position of the trips. You send Tim Jones out to stalk block, the outside cornerback, and the other receiver comes inside, and he just kind of folds underneath of those guys. And a solid game. Listen, if your run game's not working, the quick screen is your next best option to pick up some good yardage, and now they're in a third manageable situation. Got a Thundering Herd defensive player on the field.
It's Malik Thompson.
Malik Thompson, tough getting looked at by trainers. Malik Thompson, as you said, was Conference USA Player of the Week 2 weeks ago when he played against FAU. A really vocal and physical leader of this defense. So you hope the best for him. And Malik Thompson playing for that middle position just goes down immediately, and you see him stand up and kind of limping, kind of feeling that leg, shoulder pad, jersey's been pulled down, and then he just decides to sit it down. Something doesn't feel right in the lower body area, but you hope for the best because he is really a dynamic defensive lineman for this Thundering Herd defense.
Say hi to Charles, Marshall fan from watching in Hawaii. Not a bad place to be watching anything at the moment. Hope you're just watching it outside, though. Thomas, a Herd fan, watching from San Antonio.
He's waiting for that Hawaii game that's going to be on at midnight tonight, East Coast.
Full day of football.
Yeah.
Out there in Hawaii. Third and 4, ball on the 38. We approach 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Southern Miss trying to recover from a fumble and another fumble. This ball is loose. As they try to recover from a botched punt, it looks like they've turned it over again, and they have. As Watley was carrying the ball, came across the line of scrimmage, and I'm not so sure if a Marshall defender hit this.
And, well, it looked like a Marshall defender popped it out, but then the fumble-rooski drill goes into effect, and Chris Jackson ends up coming up with it at the end. Get another look. Defensive lineman, pokes it out.
Ryan B did it.
Ryan B with the extra effort.
Fumbled again. recovered by the defense.
Extra effort. Looked like Chris Jackson. But Ryan B., the senior for this Thundering Herd squad, kind of the leader going into preseason camp, talking about how important it was to come out here and give your all as a senior. They did an interview, and he was reflecting on the field after practice, and they went up to him and started talking to him, and he just said, you know, just leave it all out there. We don't have anything left to give as seniors. We need to be leaders and lead by actions. And Ryan B., throughout this season, has left it on the field and been a real big impact leader on this defense. And right there, coming up with a big fumble forced by him, and then recovery. This is what Marshall's thrived off of, those turnovers and taking advantage of those turnovers.
It'll be their 10th fumble recovery.
The ruling on the field stands. First down, Marshall.
Well, another mission takeaway to add to the board in this contest. That's 2 already. Julie previewed that in the pregame, showing the board. Every time you get a turnover, you know, your picture goes up on the wall. They've added 2, Knox and now B and Jackson to be added.
And again, 4-0 this season when picking up 2 of those takeaways, and they've got 2 so far this afternoon. The handoff is to Keon Davis. Tries to get to the outside and unable to do so. Brought down by Jaquez Turner.
Yeah, Jaquez Turner playing the defensive end position, just keeps pursuit on the backside and collapses. And that's the one thing the Southern Miss defense, even though they might be down, this defense plays really tough, especially against the rush throughout the season. And Jacques Turner, big part of that at that defensive end position.
Going deep, and it's picked. Back the other way comes Southern Miss with a full head of steam across the 50 into Marshall territory. It's Ty Williams with his 2nd interception of the season.
Yeah, there was no bite on the play fake. You see the offensive line rushing to their left, and Thompson sending the ball downfield, and no biting by Ty Williams as he then finds the way. Shannon Showers leading the way on that squad. Gets waylaid, but what a great job of Ty Williams IDing the ball, high pointing it, and then returning it back on the plus side of the field. You answer a turnover with the turnover. Great job by Southern Miss defense.
To now see if the home team can get some momentum here. It's to Michael Harris. Harris around the corner into the red zone.
DeMichael Harris. Southern Detroit, first down, Southern Miss.
This play brought to you by great scheme. The double handoff back end around, and DeMichael Harris, he's a speedster. He's a guy who can run the ball, and when he gets to the outside edge, it is a foot race.
He's used a lot out of that backfield, a multi-purpose threat. Watley keeps it this time. Watley brought down by Frankie Hernandez.
Watley is doing a lot with his legs in this game. Big play here, but what you want to see by this team, get back to what you're good at. Using those swings, using motions, getting the running backs out of the backfield, using Jayshad Washington at the point of attack to kind of get some of those swings, if not some quick outs or a little stop route with the off coverage. You know, I like Jordan Mitchell at the bottom of the screen. They're playing off of him, just a little stop and go.
It's Watley. He keeps it. Watley across the 10 to the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds. Nazeeh Johnson prevents Watley from getting into the end zone, and the clock will stop with 1:35 to go.
Or do that. You could always do that. But Whatley so effective with his feet, reading the defensive ends when they close and when they stay disciplined on their assignments and knowing when to pull it. He's been very successful today. Big gains have come out of the backside when he's pulled on that boot out.
Reset the clock to 1:35 as it started to move. Scott Watkins out to the near side.
We're a little goal line shotgun here. Two tight ends and a fullback in the game.
Watkins in motion. The handoff is to Anderson. Anderson driving those legs. Might have a yard. It's an opportunity now, Max, for Southern Miss to steal a line from Dumb and Dumber to totally redeem itself.
Yeah.
After the 2 turnovers.
Yes, yes, indeed. There's a great opportunity here. Going to half tied, something that Southern Miss has not had a lot of success with doing when turning the ball over as much as they have this season. It's been a great save.
Second and 4. Ball on the 4, into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Quez Watkins.
Let's take another look at this. Great touch, throwing the back shoulder fade. Quez Watkins just goes right up over the defensive end, Keon Merrill, and takes it away from him, just snatches it. Look at the elevation, 2 hands, securing it, 2 feet, touching the end zone. That's NFL-esque right there by Quez Watkins to come down with the touchdown grab.
Great concentration from Watkins the whole way. Parker Schoenfield on for the extra point, and we're tied at 10.
Southern Miss strikes, and this game is tied up due to the excellent effort of DeMichael Harris with that long double end-around run, and then capped off by the touchdown by Quez Watkins over Kerryon Merrill. And look at the double toe tap. That's all you need. And the reaction by Quez Watkins, yes, that's 2 turnovers that Southern Miss gave up, one being for a touchdown on the blocked punt and fumble, but it gets erased with this score going into halftime. 48 seconds left, Thundering Herd to take the ball.
It's all set up on that 29-yard run from DeMichael Harris, and Watkins completes the 5-play, 46-yard touchdown, his 8th touchdown of the season. Marshall will scoot out of bounds. Keon Davis at about the 32.
And for Marshall, you got 2 timeouts left, 44 seconds left on the clock. So you want to try and see if you can run some deep outs, utilize the sideline to your advantage, and you still have 2 timeouts. See if you can at least get in the field goal range. You're very manageable. You're on your own 27-yard line. Got to take a couple of shots, a little bit deeper, but get those deep outs.
So 44 seconds on the clock for Marshall with 2 timeouts. And the ball is on the 27. Now it's Isaiah Green into the game, and Isaiah Green gives it up. And it's a scoop and score for Southern Miss. It's Darian Yancey. And just like that, Southern Miss has flipped the script, taking a page out of Marshall's playbook. The turnover comes back the other way, and it puts Southern Miss in front on Isaiah Green's first snap from scrimmage this afternoon.
You make the switch at quarterback because of a turnover, and then the next guy that comes in, Isaiah Green, who was the starter at the beginning of the season, comes in very first play, fumble, scoop, and score. And now both these teams have 2 turnovers and scores off the turnovers. But fortunately for Southern Miss, they get to now take the lead going into halftime.
And in 11 seconds, this game is turned around for Southern Miss, and Marshall now finds itself down 17-10.
And it all started with Jacques Turner working on Will Ulmer and getting a hand in there to knock it down, but Darian Yancey catches the ball on the bounce and takes it into the end zone for the big score. And yes, this is something we did not see this, going into the second quarter. Not a lot coming from that offense, but they got a spark with the interception from Ty Williams. A great double end around, and Doc Holliday could not be happy with what has happened in the last minute and a half of play. You give up a touchdown offensively, but then you also give up a defensive touchdown about 11 seconds later.
I think it was Jaquez Turner who got a hand on it.
Yeah. Defensive end working on the left tackle, Will Ulmer. Just got like a little pinky, a pinky in there.
That's all they needed. Just a little pop-up to the 35, and at this point you got to imagine Marshall might just sit on it, even with 2 timeouts.
I would try and mitigate the damage, because you get the ball coming out of the half. If you're Marshall, you need to regroup and resettle, because I'm sure they were thinking, get in field goal range before half, and then we can come back out with a new plan and then plan on a scoring drive. Think about a 10-point swing potentially, but right now they're now in the hole, so you got to regroup.
Say hi to Teddy, who's watching from High Point, Indiana. That's exactly what Marshall will do here, is take a knee with Isaiah Green, who hasn't played since September 29th against Western Kentucky. And this Southern Miss crowd is giving the home team a standing ovation going into the half, up 17-10.
Well, you think about it, they had 2 turnovers coming into this, the second to last drive, and Ty Williams comes up with the interception with great field position. They capitalize on it, and then you come back on the next defensive series and you score again. So you have now taken a shift from being -2 to now being even again in the contest, and you get to take the lead going into halftime. So yes, this Southern Miss crowd should be very excited by how this team has responded to adversity and given great offensive and defensive plays in this first half.
But how do you feel if you're Marshall and you're Doc Holliday going into the half, thinking about, all right, we're going to make this quarterback change, but then that's how the quarterback change starts? What type of confidence or lack thereof do you have?
Yeah, I would be a little upset, and strictly because you look solid in the first quarter. Thompson, yes, makes a bad read on a play-action fake pass, but at the same time, you're not expecting, when we do make the change, that the very first play, the quarterback's going to cough the football up.
Let's go downstairs to Julie.
After 2 big turnovers, you guys respond with 2 big scores. What kind of message do you have in the room to continue this in the second half?
We got to continue. We got to play for 60 minutes. That's only 30. We finished strong. That was a great play by our defense. Yancey scored the touchdown. Ty Williams, that was probably right now the play of the half for us. Our offense got some juice going. We had a nice drive. We got to sustain drives, and defensively, we got to continue swarming the football and controlling the game.
First start for Tate Watley. What do you think, and what do you want him to do?
Job, and you're seeing him grow up right now. He's doing some good things. He's responding to some adversities, but he's getting better and better. We need him to continue.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Right, thank you.
17-10, Southern Miss with the turnaround over Marshall after the first 30 minutes of football. Time now, let's head to our stadium studios, join Kristen Balboni and Michael Felder.
Welcome back to Campus Insiders. I'm Kristen Balboni. The first CFP rankings came out Tuesday night. I want to start with the Mountain West, since it is Mountain West Day. Fresno State is currently the only team in the CFP rankings. At the end of the season, which Mountain West team do you think will be the highest in the rankings?
I'm going to go Utah State. I look at the Aggies, and I think obviously Fresno State, they're the team that's in the rankings right now. But when it comes to at the end of the day, I think they beat Fresno State. A little bit more offense with Jordan Love and Gerald Bright and Darwin Thompson. I think they have the opportunity to go out, get the big win in the Mountain West Championship game. And for that reason, I think they end up as the highest ranked Mountain West team. You know what?
I completely agree. I think we were all a little bit taken off guard by Utah State, but I completely agree about that. Now, Brett, what about you?
I'm going to go with Utah State. I think they've got an easier path. Fresno State's got a tougher schedule. I'll take the Aggies to win the Mountain West title.
Now, when you looked at the rankings, which team did you think was too high, Brett?
Too high? I really didn't have a problem. It was pretty similar to my AP ballot. You know, I actually had really no problem with anybody out there. I'd like to be nitpicky, but I think they did a good job.
That is a great start to the season for the CFP, if that is the answer from a very prominent AP voter. Michael, what about you?
If I got to pick something, I'm going Florida. I mean, this is a Florida team that we know does not have a lot to offer offensively. I get that they have the big win over LSU, but they are what they are. They're a team that struggles to throw the football. They have a quarterback that nobody really trusts in Felipe Franks, who has been a liability at times. Major miss, like we can talk about the interceptions, but major misses also cost them that game against Georgia. He connects on a couple of those passes down the field with guys open. Those turn into touchdowns. Instead, it turned into a loss.
Michael, was there a team that you felt was too low?
Oh, for me, too low. I mean, the answer has to be West Virginia, right? I mean, they're a one-loss team that's still within striking distance, or in theory, at least within striking distance. So I think that as they put together more wins that look like the Baylor win, instead of games that look like the Texas Tech win, or certainly look like the Iowa State loss, they're going to have an opportunity to climb up in the rankings.
Yeah, I know that you are very high on that West Virginia team. Brett, I know you said that you didn't have much to nitpick as far as this first ranking goes, but anyone you felt could have been a little bit higher?
Surprisingly, I'm going to say LSU. I know they came in at number 3. I think with their resume, they could have been number 2. 5-1 against teams with winning records, 2-1 against teams that are ranked in the top 18. I think 2 teams that weren't ranked that should have been ranked, Houston and Utah State.
I like that one a lot. That's an excellent point. Now, which team outside the top 10, Brett, do you think has a chance to potentially be in the playoff at the end of the season?
Well, Michael just referred to them, West Virginia. I mean, it's all there in front for West Virginia. 3 of their last 4 games are against teams with winning records. That's Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Texas. If they win a rematch against Texas or OU in the Big 12 championship game, they certainly will be in the conversation to get into the college football playoff.
Michael, I'm going to guess you agree with that one right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
They've got, listen, the key's there. Obviously, there's the Big 12 as a whole might need a little bit of help to get in, but certainly if you win out, you've got an opportunity. Yes,
they do. Thank you both so much for joining me, and thank you all for watching Campus Insiders. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey everyone, Maddie Morris here inside the Conference USA studio. It's hard to believe it's already November, and in one short month, 2 of our schools will be playing in the conference championship game. But with both spots still up for grabs, let's take a look at the schedule for next weekend. All 14 schools will be in action against each other on Saturday, starting at 1:30 p.m. Central, as Marshall hosts Charlotte on ESPN+. Other matchups include North Texas traveling to Old Dominion at 2:30 p.m. Central on ESPN3, Florida Atlantic hosting WKU at 4 p.m. Central on Stadium on Facebook, and UAB and Southern Miss battling it out at 6:30 p.m. Central on BN Sports. To stay up to date on all things Conference USA football related this season, head on over to our website at conferenceusa.com and follow us on our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For Conference USA, I'm Maddie Morris.
I am ready to lead.
Ready to defend.
I am driven to go all in. I train for myself.
But I play for my team.
Whatever the score, we win.
For my coaches, my mentors, my parents, my teachers.
I am committed to success, to being the best I can be.
I am part of a family.
I am a son.
I am a daughter of Marshall.
This is where you find yourself. This is where you remember where you came from, what inspired you, where you pushed yourself, where you struggled, stumbled, and fell, but always got back up. Where you learned who you want to be, where you want to go, and what it takes to get there. The University of Southern Mississippi. This is where you soar.
Well, welcome on back to The Rock. The Golden Eagles leading 17-10 over the Herd at halftime. I'm now joined by Athletics Director from Southern Mississippi, John Gilbert. Thanks so much for joining us here today. I know it's a big moment right now for your women's soccer team who just made it to the Final Four of Conference USA. How big is that for your program?
Well, it's the first time in program history. We've had a program since 1997, and we were the 6th seed going in, so really excited. You know, the girls play in the championship game tomorrow against North Texas. We're 12-5 on the year, and we're a gritty bunch, and I'm really excited for our student athletes. Really means a lot to me to see them succeed on the field, and couldn't be more proud of them.
Now, looking at your student athletes, your athletics program, what excites you most, especially about this year so far and looking ahead?
Well, one thing that I do when I meet with every student athlete at the beginning of the year, I give them my cell phone number, and I tell them that the most important thing for me is their experience here. So I meet with them once a month. I have an open lunch where any student athlete can sign up and have lunch with me. I want to make sure that we're a student athlete focused department. We've got a lot of great initiatives going on right now. We're building a brand new $7 million women's volleyball facility. It will host both our indoor and our beach team. Volleyball plays tomorrow and senior day. So a lot of exciting things going on.
Now, you mentioned student athletes. I heard that you did a leadership trip with 13 different athletes. Tell us about what that was like.
Well, it was a voluntary leadership group. They met every month for an entire year to talk about leadership initiatives. And then at the end of the year, we did a trip on Outward Bound, which is a great organization, and we spent a week in the woods and went through some leadership initiatives where each day one person was the leader of the group, 2 people cooked, 2 people were responsible for getting water, and then the rest of the group was responsible for setting up the camp. So I went with a group of student athletes. I had 6 girls, 1 guy, plus me, and it was a great experience, not only for the student athletes, but for me personally. There was no cell phones, no Instagram, no Snapchat.
That must have been tough for a lot of people. I'm sure for you too, John.
It was tough, but it reinforced to me why I do the job I do and making sure that our focus are our student athletes. So many leadership things and relationship building that came out of it. It was just very rewarding on a lot of fronts.
Well, what a great initiative. Thank you so much, John, for joining us here today, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, let's send things up to the booth with Noah and men's basketball coach Doc Sadler.
Thanks, Julie. Hi atop Roberts Stadium, The Rock, Noah Kozlov, and Southern Miss basketball head coach Doc Sadler. Doc, good to see you.
No, what's been happening? A lot of football.
This weather's beautiful.
Hey, everybody, everybody seems surprised, but this is year-round. You got to come down here more often. We'll treat you like this.
I was down
if
here.
We like you.
I was down here for a game this past season against Middle Tennessee. So to now take me fast forward through the summer and expectations for this year.
Well, again, as you mentioned, you was here last, I guess, in February, and a lot's happened since then. But one of the good things is we've got a lot of returning players, and for the first time since I've been at Southern Miss, we're getting close to a full roster, and that's exciting because each and every day we go to practice, for the most part, I feel like that we leave the practice court getting better. And, we're fixing to find out, because the schedule that we put together this season is going to be very challenging. But it's one that I at least feel like this team can handle. And, we're not going to go undefeated, obviously, but at least I do think that each and every game that we go into, we got a chance to compete.
What type of game is putting together a schedule?
Well, in our situation, being a mid-major, everybody's talking about, you got to put a schedule together if you feel like you got a good team, that maybe if you have a good non-conference season that you could play in postseason play. But, for the most part, I think we're to the point now that, I think we've got to do whatever we got to do to prepare our team for March, because right now, this league has had some great teams over the last few years with some great records that didn't get an at-large bid. So let's just do what we can do, and the only guarantee is to get a championship in the conference tournament. So everything that I've done, this season is based on trying to be playing our best basketball, hopefully in March.
And what do you make of the Conference USA wild card games down the stretch?
I don't think any of us really know, but you got to give us credit for at least trying.
I certainly do.
It's again, I think things have really changed over the last 2 or 3 years as far as the number of teams that get at-large bids. So, the good thing is we're not just standing there letting the game go by us and not taking any risk. Yeah, ask us in March what we think about it, and I think we'll know more about it.
What are your plans off the court for Cancun? You got a Cancun trip coming up.
Well, being the beach bum that I am, no. Again, I think that's something that I've tried to do to reward our team for hard work, to take them on a good little trip. And, and that's what we've done each and every year. These kids have been through a lot in the 4 years, some of them that have been here. So I do think we can go down there and compete in that tournament, and hopefully, we won't lose sight of what we're really down there for, and that's, to win 2 basketball games, but at the same time, also have a good time.
All right, last one for you. I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up with Clarence Weatherspoon there, and of course he's on your staff.
Yeah.
What has he brought for your staff? Focusing more so on recruiting.
Well, the city of losers, Philadelphia. That's what I tell one of my former assistants.
Yeah, I heard there's a Philadelphia, Mississippi too, right?
I got Omar Thomas on my staff, a legend in high school basketball. And you guys win 1 championship and you go like it's crazy. I'm a Cowboys fan, and we won 5. So let's talk about Spoon.
Yeah, but it's been so
that's okay.
long.
I've heard that comment. Yeah,
it's been so long. Our producer John Claybrook is a huge Cowboys fan.
Well, it's America's team, but going back to Spoon,
should have your own America.
Go back to Spoon. What a legend, not just here in, in Mississippi, but especially here at Southern Miss. One of the all-time greats to ever play here, and then went on, as you mentioned, to play for the Sixers and a number of other teams, and had a great career. And, he just brings an intensity and a work ethic that the young kids need. They need to see that, so many of them are living in this dream world of playing for a job beyond college, and they need to realize that there's a lot that comes with that. And he has done a tremendous job, not just with our players that are on campus, but as you mentioned, he's doing a terrific job in recruiting the state of Mississippi also.
Doc?
Noah?
Good to see you.
Sorry.
I'll be back down here in a few weeks, and then be back down here for
I think we play you guys 2 more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the Eagles?
Hey, when we play the Eagles, you guys will be on national TV.
Doc wins. He always does. Let's go back downstairs to Julie.
Great stuff up there in the booth, Noah. I'm here now with Brooke Bullock, who is a senior here at the University of Southern Mississippi in communications and politics. And not only that, you are a tour guide here, and you found out that I'm from Canada, so I haven't really been around here a whole lot. What is like the biggest, most important thing that you want people to know about the University of Southern Mississippi?
The University of Southern Mississippi was actually never supposed to exist. Back in the early 1900s, we had to fight to get here. And in 1910, we were established, and since then we have been the most resilient university in the state of Mississippi. We've been faced with lots of inclement weather issues that have torn our campus apart, and many other things. We always seem to bounce back, and I think that's what this true spirit of Southern Miss is.
And also here, you have a couple of very famous alumni. Let's start off first with Margaritaville man, Jimmy Buffett.
So Jimmy Buffett actually attended the University of Southern Mississippi. He was in a fraternity here on campus, Kappa Sigma, and it said that he used to go to the top of the fraternity house and play for everybody to listen. And then, of course, in the early 70s, he took off and gave our university a little claim to fame. So we always celebrate him. We just established this marker about 2 years ago to commemorate him.
And then also when you're looking around at where Jimmy Buffett was, there's also a big eagle statue that you talk about resilience. What is that all about?
So Lofty Returns is our huge eagle statue at the front of campus, and it actually came here in 2013 after we were struck by a tornado that destroyed a good portion of campus. So our eagle just kind of reminds us of how resilient we are, how we always come together as a community and bounce back.
Now, you also were showing us, I think it was a lake yesterday, where there's some sort of myth surrounding this lake. What's it about?
So Lake Byron was donated by the class of 1936 to the university, and there's a legend that if you cross the bridge with your significant other, then you will be destined to be together forever. So a lot of people get engaged out there, even get married out there as well.
Yeah, we saw some people yesterday who were already on that bridge. We thought maybe they might be taking the plunge.
Yes.
Har har, no pun intended. Now, we can't forget, of course, a very famous alumni here that he has a daughter that still goes to school here, but it is, of course, Brett Favre.
Yes, Brett Favre is a huge part of our Southern Miss traditions, especially for football season. The greatest quarterback of all time, if not for anyone else, for Southern Miss. And he has gone on to support our university and still does to this day. We see him around every once in a while, and we have a locker set up in our athletic department that kind of tells you every accomplishment he's ever had, and that's many of them. And then he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, so that was really great too, and to bring that to Southern Miss.
Well, great icon to have for Southern Miss as well, though. You guys have the Eagle Walk. You showed me it yesterday without any students or football players, but this is something that happens before the games, and it's a tradition.
It is. It's the procession of football players and the marching band and the Dixie Darlings and cheerleaders all into the stadium. It's a big time for all of our fans to rally around our football players. And one really cool tradition that surrounds Eagle Walk is that our students get to paint it gold. And that's during the first few days that they're on campus. So it's really amazing to be able to shake the hands of the football players and get them pumped up for the game, and to be able to walk underneath all of the banners of famous athletes and coaches that have come through Southern Miss.
Well, a lot of spirit, of course, all around the university and here at the game today. Do you have a prediction? We know that the Golden Eagles are leading right now. What's the final score?
I don't really know, but I do feel like we've got a win coming for us. This is something that happens, I think, with Southern Miss football. We always start off a little slow, and then somehow we get that same resilient spirit and come back on top.
All right, well, Brooke, thank you so much. This girl's looking for a job in TV when she graduates. I think she's pretty good. All right.
If you have any openings, let me know.
All right, and same with me. If you got any openings, I'm looking for a job too. Thanks, Brooke. All right, let's send things over to Noah.
I think you both did a good job, and I think both futures are bright in television. It's a 17-10 lead for Southern Miss over Marshall in just a wacky second quarter. Noah Kozlov and Max starts, and we can, in that second quarter, especially the defense from Southern Miss, stopping Marshall, as Marshall in the first half with nothing going on the ground, actually 0 yards rushing.
Yeah, and the Thunder Herd defense was applying a lot of pressure early in this game, and for the most part, most of the first half until the last drive. And you see the turnover here that they generate. Knox picks up the fumble and runs it in for a score, which took it to 10-3. It was deadlocked at 3 at the end of the first quarter. But Southern Miss doing a great job as well, sustaining the drives. And we have kickoff here.
We do, and goes through the end zone. So Marshall is going to come out with Isaiah Green, the redshirt freshman quarterback who came in and fumbled, and on the scoop and score. And in that second quarter, it was a disaster. So just 14 yards of offense and 2 turnovers. Isaiah Green has not played since September 29th against Western Kentucky. Left with a left knee injury. He led the game-winning drive, a 7-play, 98-yard drive. Comes in replacing Alex Thompson, who went 5 for 13 with an interception on 49 yards passing in that first half. A quick hitter to Obi Obialo. And he's out across the 25 to about the 27.
And a nice solid gain on the jet sweep. Isaiah Green, he was an okay, but obviously got usurped by Alex Thompson. You know, the thing about Green is he can run. And Coach Atkins said that he was going to be a guy who was going to see some time. Don't know if he was more so pressed into service at this moment for whatever reason, or if this was scheduled by the team.
Gian Davis across the 30 to the 31. Jaquez Turner brings him down. So Marshall working the hurry up, 3rd and 4. Two for 6 on 3rd down today. Green over the middle has it deflected.
And not sure if that was for Marcel Williams or if it was actually for the tight end, Armani Levius, because they were both kind of in the same spot, layered about 6 yards apart, and it looked a little high for Williams, but Levius was also looking for the ball behind him. So, a little confusion there, but that leads to another 3rd down missed.
Looked like Walden Davis got his hands on it. And a fair catch called for by Quez Watkins at the 35. Noah Kozlov, Max Starks, Julie Stewart-Binks. Our entire stadium Facebook crew with you in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Marshall comes in 5-2, 3-1 in Conference USA in the East Division. They've won 3 of 4, coming off a bye. Their last win 2 weeks ago, and they blew out FAU. Southern Miss 3-4, 2-2 in the West. Lost last week 20-17 at Charlotte. It's Tate Watley, the true freshman, making his first career start. A little trickeration.
A little shovel.
Michael Harris again.
Yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, this is one of the things I think for this Southern Miss offense to go, they've got to hit the edges and pick and choose where they're going to rush up the middle, but they've had a lot of success on the outside of this defense.
Watley pulls it down, comes across the 40, and he scampers out of bounds with Malik Gant giving chase.
And for Tate Watley, he has just great vision. Now, that was a quarterback design run because he had a lead blocker pulling for him. You see the guard and the tackle from the right side coming to the left, and Watley kind of just following right behind him. But he's done a great job also of improvising. And like you said, when you have the option of pulling it out the back door or handing it off to the receiver, he's had some great decision-making early on in this game and has converted some big plays. So this is a kid who has that dual threat capability. He can pass it in the air. He's highly efficient, 8-12, but also his decision when he does run, he has a lot of success as well.
Yeah, Mosley in trouble with Ty Taylor, got to him first in the backfield.
And Malik Thompson back in the game, went down earlier in this contest. He's back, he was in on the play, and that's a good sign for the Thundering Herd defense, is that you have that guy who can apply the pressure up the middle and secure it, because if you can't, and you give Southern Miss the inside and the outside, it makes for a very long day. Very frustrating to keep your keys defensively.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 22. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
So Travinsky Mosley, the running back, the costly face mask penalty.
And this is a great job by the defensive end, Ty Tyler, and Travinsky Mosley grabs the face mask and kind of...
It's like a panic move.
Yeah, gives him a little bit, you know, the stiff arm's supposed to be open hand, more palm to the grill, but once you wrap those fingers and kind of twist, it's an easy call for the referee standing behind him.
The second 15-yard penalty of the game for Southern Miss. Watley has time, looking for a receiver, and couldn't find one. Great coverage downfield.
Another dangerous pass for Watley when he's pressed out of the pocket to his right. And he's still okay. Just plant your feet, make the decision if you are, but don't throw into the field like that when you see 3 white helmets and jerseys in the area. Throw it to the outside, get it out of bounds. There's a receiver in the area, and just take away the potential liability of a turnover.
Darion Merrill was pretty close to it. I don't think he even expected the football to come that close to him. 2nd and 25. He's got B in his face, and he gets it off to Mosley. And Mosley is pushed out of bounds by Gant.
And Gant played this very well. Offensive line, good setup and dish off. You have your guard out in front. Plus, I think that's his center as well. So you got the lead blockers, but Malik Gant whips the block and is sitting right in the hole. Mosley has nowhere to go. They force him out of bounds.
Michael Stacy rooting for Marshall to wake up and get back into this game. 3rd and 22, ball on their own 34. Watley puts Anderson in motion. Tucks and runs. Looks like a late hit as well, and that's going to be costly against Marshall.
That is a...
Danye Moody comes up limping, but it could be Moody who's whistled for the personal foul here.
We'll see what the referees say. Yeah, this is a bad time. You look at the spot. This is a personal foul. It could be a potential first down.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That is number 10's first.
The automatic first down. It would have been a 4th and 13, and for Marshall, their first penalty of the day comes in a brutal spot.
And
so the good tackle from Moody. And you can see Trace Clopton step on Moody, and Moody trying to tell the official that's exactly what happened, and he's right.
But here's the thing, when there's a foul of that nature, second guy always gets caught. The first guy's not going to get caught.
It's always the retaliation.
Yeah, Compton was behind the referee. He didn't see the footstep, but you could see the right hook to the back.
Watley keeps it. Looks like some more miscommunication, looking for Jordan Mitchell, and he threw it away, and his shoe came off, and a flag on the far side of the field.
And it looks like it'll probably be called for a legal man downfield, or ineligible receiver downfield.
Drake Dorbeck.
Left tackle. It's always tough when you think a quarterback's going to run because he tucks it and then he stops at the last second and rifles it downfield. Makes it very tough for an offensive lineman. Just run it. If you're gonna put it in a tuck position.
There is no foul in the play. 2nd down.
Okay. All right. Hey.
All right. Well, they pick it up.
Let me moonwalk back on that and say, you know what? Hey, go get it.
But I do understand why you're so defensive always of.
Defensive of offensive players?
Offensive linemen. Quick hitter out to the far side. Steven Anderson from the backfield. Anderson's second catch of the afternoon. Hey fans, did you know that you can stream college football all season long with Sling TV for just $25 a month? Try Sling TV for free right now, sling.com. Restrictions do apply.
And the swing pass has been there all day for this offense, and they get solid yardage. So when you're feeling stifled, running into a wall at the middle of this defense, get it out on the perimeter. They've had a lot of success today getting the ball out on the perimeter.
This time it's Anderson up the middle to about the 34. It's going to bring up 4th and 1.
Not a tough decision here. Offense. Tate Watley looking to the sideline to get the play in. 4th and short.
No surprise here, especially given how confident Southern Miss is in the defense.
They're very confident, and you look at, they've kind of got a rhythm going, and they're in that no man's land where you can't kick it, and you don't want to punt it and risk a touchback.
2 for 10 on 3rd down, and Anderson drives the legs. Doesn't look like he got there.
Nah. Yeah, that didn't
looked like he tried to roll on top of a few Marshall defenders, but I don't think he got there.
He got caught in the backfield. It's good when you get to the line and you kind of do a little handover, but you can't get hit in the backfield. So turnover on downs. Interesting, sending Watley out into the wide receiver spot and using that. We've seen that a lot.
Try to get that little push and reach the arm over.
Yeah, it looked like Malik Gant blitzing off of the outside. What a great job by him. Catch him in the backfield.
Let's go down to Julie.
Hey guys, we're down on the field right now. If you know, our broadcast is a little bit different than ones that you've seen other places before, because you can be involved in this broadcast if you comment on Facebook or use the hashtag HerdVSUSM on Instagram. You can send us your photos of where you're watching from. You can tell us in the Facebook comments where in the world. We want to hear. We know people are watching from Australia, from Scotland, from down in the Caribbean, all over the place. And we've seen that people have some very interesting setups. This is the way you're supposed to do it, folks. You're supposed to watch on your TVs, on your computers, on your tablets, everything like that. We love to see that. That is from W. Andrews 13. And as well, here's another setup. That's how it goes, folks. We know we live in a digital world. We want to be able to see as much football as we can on the weekends. Here we've got Rockmeister 98. Go Herd up. He's got it all figured out there as well. And so we want to see where you're watching from. Maybe you're with your dog, or maybe you're with your kids or your friends or family. And here's some other fun photos that were sent to us from the Marshall football team. We know it was Halloween this week. It was a great time for people to dress up. And the Herd team, they did a reverse trick-or-treat. So the players actually trick-or-treated from the staff and the team's children. I don't know if that's the right way you're supposed to do it, but it looked like they had a lot of fun. We know that these football players don't have a lot of time to be able to socialize. So for them to be able to combine doing this at their practice with the kids, it's a whole lot of fun. Send us your photos. If you have a great Halloween costume, use the hashtag HerdVSUSM and we will feature it on our broadcast. Noah.
Thanks, Julie. Max, what did you dress up as?
I dressed up as a parent taking his kid out this year. Last year I was a Pharaoh, though. So, I mean, I had a costume last year. This year is just too busy.
Isaiah Green going deep. He has Brady, and he overthrew him.
And Green had a good job. ID'd the single coverage, and Brady had it and kind of like bumped in, but just lost the ball in the sky and tried to adjust on it a little bit too late.
The clock should have stopped after the previous play. Please reset the clock to 9:20. It'll start on the snap.
Clock didn't stop after the play. They'll get about 30 seconds left, 26 seconds left back on the clock.
Nick Berman is watching from Australia, eating breakfast in Sydney and watching football.
So eating breakfast tomorrow.
On Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday there.
Go ahead, make all the future jokes you want. I'm sure he's heard them all.
Yeah.
Here's Green again, looking for the big hitter. He's got Williams down to the 20. Marcel Williams puts Marshall in the red zone.
And Marcel Williams puts the burners on, going down and running a deep crosser, and has 2 steps on the receiver, a little bit behind him, but a great catch, big gain for Marshall.
The handoff to Davis. Davis gets the edge and is just knocked out of bounds at the 3.
And Marshall, 2 big plays back to back. Running an outside zone play to the left, and Keon Davis, great block by the receiver on the edge. And the foot steps out right before he can stretch it out over and hit the pylon with the nose of the football.
They had 55 yards, so the previous play is now under review to see if Davis had got into the end zone. Before the 53-yard pass to Marcel Williams, Marshall had 55 yards total. That play, 53 yards. Nearly doubled the total right there.
And Keon Davis, that left foot looks like it steps out at the 1.5-yard line before he can get it stretched out. So maybe Marshall will get about another 1.5 yards on the spot. Won't get the end zone because that foot is down as he's trying to kind of outstretch and hit the pylon, but we'll wait for the official decision. You guys see what we see on the replay board. So you're getting the best views that the referees are seeing.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
So the ball is on the 2. First down with 8:51 to go. This Marshall offense was non-existent in the first half with just 49 total yards, nothing on the ground.
And they lost it, like you said, negative 16 yards in the second quarter. So that means they had 16 yards at the end of the first quarter. Then they lost all of those in the second quarter.
And Isaiah Green in the game, replacing Alex Thompson, leading Marshall down the field, trailing by a touchdown. The handoff for Anthony Anderson, and he's into the end zone for her touchdown. Straight up the middle goes Anthony Anderson for his 7th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and it starts with great blocking up front. Center Levi Brown doing a great job. You see Jordan Dowry in there at the left guard position as well. They just clear the hole, and Anthony Anderson has all the time and all the space in the world to just stride into the end zone. 2-yard score.
The extra point is up and good, and we're tied at 17 with 8:36 to go after a 4-play, 66-yard drive that took 53 seconds, thanks to a 53-yard completion of Marcel Williams. Let's go back downstairs to Julie.
Well, Noah, we've got some young Herd fans that are very excited about that last touchdown. Right here, we've got Baby Carter, who says, "Go Herd." Looks like he already predicted that that touchdown was going to happen. Now, we also have some fans at the Tampa Bay Alumni Club that are watching this game. And we couldn't go on without showing the kids. We featured these kids earlier today, and they were so excited seeing themselves on the broadcast that we wanted to show them again. This is why we do it, folks. We want you to be able to see yourself on the broadcast, to have an impact, to have an influence. So make sure you comment and send us your photos. Now for Marshall, there are a lot of different stories about players having an impact on and off the field. None so much as senior linebacker Chase Hancock, who I've been told is undoubtedly the leader of this team. He joined the Herd in 2015 as a walk-on, was awarded a scholarship in 2016, and then in 2017 he was a team captain and led the defense to 17th in FBS with allowing 19.9 points per game. Right now, he's on a couple of different lists. The AFCA watch list, Good Works team, the Werfel Trophy list, as well as a semifinalist for the William V. Campbell Trophy, an award given to the best student athlete in the nation. Now, head coach Doc Holliday said that Chase Hancock, when he puts his mind to something, he can do anything. He told us that Hancock wants to go to medical school, but also said if he continues a career in football, he'll be very successful. Hancock told us that he has not decided yet, but whether or not he pursues medicine or he pursues football, he will be successful. We want to know what your rising to greatness stories are. Noah, Max, what do you got?
I mean, I've got nothing on Chase Hancock, a walk-on to
yeah, I
start him on the football team, and he's pre-med. I kind of think of Baker Mayfield going from walk-on to transfer to Heisman Trophy winner to the #1 pick in the draft. That's just the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, that J.J. Watt, his journey as well. But no,
DeMichael Harris still on his feet, looking for a journey to greatness himself, and he's tripped up at the 25. Any guys that you played with really inspired you?
You know, when I look back on it, a lot of guys, I mean, look at what Antonio Brown has done, coming from Western Michigan, 7th-round draft pick, and what he is today. Kelvin Beachum, another kid from Southern Methodist, SMU, and his career starting for 3 different NFL teams at left tackle position when he's about 6'4". So, yeah, I had some buddies that have had a lot of success. Just off the top of my head, Willie Parker, another free agent signee to have the longest run in Super Bowl history.
Play clock winding down and getting onto the field on first down. It's the
Offense.
second delay of game
penalty,
for Southern
first down.
Miss, and that'll drive a head coach crazy.
Yeah, those are the penalties that happen before the snap. That's all discipline and mentality, and you know those are just inexcusable. You get some of the effort ones when you get a roughing the passer, you get a holding here and there trying to help your team, and you're just in bad position. But pre-snap, those are the ones that will frustrate a coach.
There's another one.
False start. Offense.
Malik
Number
Johnson is
68.
fired up on that
5-yard penalty.
defensive line
First down.
with the false start.
And Bryce Foxworth, the right guard, got a little gun shy and jumped the snap count. Yeah, back-to-back, 10 yards worth of penalties, put your team behind the sticks early before the first play has even been called.
Hey, Griffin, proud of you, overcoming dyslexia and going to college at Marshall and getting his degree. It's outstanding. Looking forward to seeing what you do with your career. That's excellent work. Pass out to the far side is complete to Watkins.
And you chewed up all of that yardage you just lost in one play. Still behind the sticks if you're going by downs, but a good job to overcome that 10-yard deficit.
Watley cannot get away.
That's by number 6, Marquise Couch, in the backfield immediately. Tackle for a loss because it looked like Watley was going to go for a rush. I'm sure he wishes it counted for a sack, but yeah, just beats the block. Looked like Arvin Fletcher coming around on the counter just absolutely missed him. And Couch, big stop for a loss.
2 for 10 on third down. Watley going downfield, and that's got to be a penalty, and it is. Stephen Gilmore did not turn around.
Number 34, 15-yard penalty, automatic first
And that's
down.
exactly what happened.
And breaking to the outside, and here it is right here. He does not turn around, and he just goes into the body. You must turn your head around as a defensive back and to establish where the ball is, and heads-up play to turn back around and put your hands up as a defender runs in. New set of downs. He had 2 penalties, a tackle for a loss, and you still get the first down with that penalty. Marshall has to be a little upset they didn't get off the field after that last play.
Seldom used wide receiver Trevor Terry on that play. Out to the near side, another flag down. Tim Jones on the reception. Flag down at about the 37.
There is no foul. The pass was touched behind the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Pick up the flag and move on at 2nd and 4, the ball on the 44.
Yeah, good first down. And I love the way that they're utilizing this with Watley using his strengths, throwing these little short passes at or behind the line of scrimmage and getting the ball on the perimeter. Southern Miss has done a great job, and Marshall has not found an answer yet defensively for this perimeter run and pass game.
Watley keeps it this time, sniffed out by Frankie Hernandez.
An interesting decision there that he didn't give it off, because there were blockers in place for the perimeter run game. And Watley, but that's once again, as a freshman, he's growing up, like Coach Hobson said at halftime. He has to see these looks to know when to give the ball and when to keep it. So these are valuable learning experiences, but you want him to make those better decisions so that you don't get behind the sticks on third downs, and where they could have been shorter, now you're in 3rd and medium.
Play clock is at 7. 3rd and 6, ball in the 42. Watley facing the pressure, escapes once, twice, and is run out of bounds by Ryan B. Juwan Young got into the backfield first. And that'll send Southern Miss into a 4th and 8, and they'll bring out the punting unit.
And trying to run the quarterback counter off the weak side or the left side, but great job. Jalen Young gets in the backfield, really blows that play up before it can get started. Ryan B also on pursuit to force Watley out before making just a minimal gain. And now the Thunder Herd gets off the field.
Marcel Williams back to receive the punt. And a flag before Zach Everett can get it off.
Looks like a false start.
False start.
Send it back 5 yards.
Number 46. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Charles Jones watching down the road, he says, from the only town in the U.S. that every letter is a vowel. Alea, Hawaii. Oh, Aiea, Hawaii, because I was going to say.
Heard Allah.
I did graduate college, but L is not a vowel. Aiea, Hawaii. How about that? Few viewers from Hawaii today. Temperature must have dropped below 80 and people are inside, huddling up under the covers.
Exactly.
Well, Noah, you mentioned Hawaii, and we have a viewer from somewhere very close to that. We've got Don Green watching from the Marshall Islands, 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Already got a drink in hand. That guy's living his best life. I think we all wish that we were there right now. Of course, Marshall Islands are between Hawaii and the Philippines. Now, back to the game here. We mentioned Chase Hancock for the Herd being an impressive player. Now for Southern Miss, Picasso Nelson Jr. is quite the character in terms of his background. He is an MBA student, also of course a starter for the Golden Eagles, and last spring he won the award of Best Male Citizen for Southern Miss. He was the first student athlete to win that award since Gerald McGrath in 2007, and McGrath of course went on to play for the Tennessee Titans for 4 years. Now Picasso is a 2-time COSITA Academic All-District Performer, and he won those awards before he entered the MBA program when he did finance and business. Speaking with defensive coordinator Tim Billings, he said that Picasso keeps me on his toes because he's so cerebral. Whenever I'm giving orders or instructions, he always sort of makes me second guess and gives his input, which he really appreciates because of course it's always very helpful when you have someone else just checking over your shoulder, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Now, Picasso is someone, he said, that makes everyone better. He sees things in certain situations that other players don't. And his father went to Jackson State. Picasso Nelson also played in the NFL briefly and the CFL as well. So we want to know who you would nominate as your best citizen that you know. Is it your parent? Is it your teacher? Is it your friend? Let us know. Comment in the Facebook comments as well. Of course, send us an Instagram post, #HerdVersusUSM.
It's a pretty deep question.
It is.
Best citizen. I'd certainly name my parents. You?
Yeah, I'd have to name my parents, my wife. There's a number of friends I have.
Isaiah Green going to his favorite citizen, Tyree Brady.
Yeah.
And that's knocked away by Ty Williams. Great work on the coverage from the junior. Now Marshall's last drive went 66 yards. Their previous 4 had gone backwards 4 yards.
Big difference.
So something in the middle, maybe, for offensive coordinator Tim Cramsey.
For all you math majors out there, that's a 70-yard spread right there.
Keon Davis in the backfield with Isaiah Green. Williams on the blitz, gets it away, and it's intercepted. Picked off and headed towards the 10, and out of bounds is Kyle Hemby.
And what a great play. Isaiah Green, though, he makes a good read. and he IDs his receiver, but it just slides right through his hands. And Kyle Hemby is right there to snatch the ball. Artie Henry was the intended target. And great opportunity for Southern Miss here inside the 10-yard line to really put an exclamation on this and reclaim the lead for Southern Miss.
The third turnover of the game for Marshall. It's the second pick of the day. They're near the bottom of FBS. Now with 10 interceptions on the season. The ball is at the 9. Watley keeps it, and there is nowhere to go. He's brought down by Cobb once again.
And very tough there for Watley. You got to get rid of the football. You can't take the sack in those situations. Omari Cobb, Jaquan Yulee in there for the big stop, and you lose, you know, about a handful of yards, about 5 on that play. But so precious these yards when you get inside of the 10-yard line. You don't want to do anything to lose that yardage.
Southern Miss has not been great in the red zone this season. Need to capitalize here. Flips it out to the far side. Still on his feet. It's Ja'Shawn Washington. And he gets back to just about the 6.
And Ja'Shawn Washington, just a little outlet here on a little just quick kind of slant route to the outside. But he's not a tall dude. He's 6'1", but he's a very thick dude at 240. So it takes a lot of effort to get the big guy on the ground.
Third and goal from the 6. Steven Anderson to the left of Tate Watley. Watley goes into the end zone, and it's incomplete, and that's great coverage from Kerryon Merrill.
And Jordan Mitchell was ISO'd at the bottom of the screen. In fact, he was off the screen from everybody else's view, but just running a one-step slant to the inside, and Kerryon Merrill just stuck to him like glue, still within that 5-yard zone, so you could be in the bump area. And people were wondering, hey, why wasn't there a penalty or an interference call? It's because he was inside the 5-yard zone or the 3-yard zone, and it was a one-step slant.
Parker Schoenfeld in for the field goal, and he connects from 23.
Take a look at the second effort on that last screen, and Ja'Shawn Washington just slams Brandon Drayton to the ground. Efforts for naught, but great protection up front and giving Watley a clear lane to throw. But you know, Kerryon Merrill was all over the receiver, so that didn't have a lot of success. But once again, points off of turnover, key. 10 for the game for Southern Miss off of those turnovers.
And it's
so
led to 17 points.
Yeah. So 2 touchdowns. That one was a field goal. Great opportunity.
So we asked for Halloween costumes, and here's what we've got. Coach Shock 99. That's awesome. That's a great Hulk Hogan. What are you going to do when the herd runs wild on you? I like it.
Yeah,
I like
brother.
that one.
Yeah, brother.
I don't think I could have pulled off Hulk Hogan. You maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So keep sending in your Instagram photos. Use the hashtag HerdVSUSM.
I could have borrowed that collar from the Herd and been Junkyard Dog. That's another classic wrestler from the old WWF days.
Kickoff sails into the end zone, and where Keon Davis will take a knee.
And smart play, get the ball out to the 25. But you have to wonder, with Isaiah Green, you know, I wonder what the injury or the pull was for Alex Thompson, because Isaiah Green thrown an interception. He's also fumbled the ball as well. He's got 2 turnovers on the day versus Thompson's 1. But, I mean, you think about this. He does have the big play potential with that 53-yard pass, but hasn't really done much since then for the Thundering Herd.
Do you think it could have simply been ineffectiveness?
I think it could have been, but it's strange that I don't see Thompson on the sideline. So that's the only reason why I make that question.
The handoff is to Anderson. Gets up about the 30, and there's
Thompson.
Alex Thompson on the sideline.
Helmet on. Yeah, I don't see an injury there, so it must be an ineffectiveness or lack of production on the opportunities that he's had.
Green's first action since late September. Hands it off to Anderson, and again, remember, Marshall playing without Tyler King, their leading rusher. Got injured 2 weeks ago against FAU late in that game. Some question whether he should have even been in the game in the first place. And it brings up another big third down. This time it's 3rd and 4. You can see what Marshall has done on third down. They're 2 for 7. Average distance at 8 yards. Now it cut that in half at 3rd and 4. Green over the middle, finds Brady. Gets around one defender, and he's brought down at the 40. Good for a Marshall first down.
Yeah, nice pickup of 9 yards. Great protection up front by the offensive line and running back to really seal the middle, allowing Green time to see the crossing route by Brady, and then Brady making a nice quick move to get some additional yardage. Big boys up front, anchored by Will Omer at the left tackle position, and of course preseason first team all-conference Levi Brown at the center position.
Always good to have Julie in our ear. She was down the sideline, confirmed that it's just a coach's decision for Alex Thompson. No injury to report. Green gets rid of it with the pressure being applied by Jeremy Sangster.
Yeah, blitz up the middle. You'll see Sangster at the top of your screen, just coming around the outside, kind of layering, and then he delivers a solid hit on Green as he releases the football, which causes it to sail. And great coverage on the back end by the defensive back, sticking with the receivers.
Second and 10, ball in the 40. High snap, hands off to Anderson. And Anderson picks up 5. Brings up another third down, where Marshall just connected on a third down, and they are 3rd and 8, 3 for 8 on the day on third down.
Yeah.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
And just a solid job on the inside zone, run to the left-hand side. Anderson kind of fits in between the guard and the tackle to get that yardage.
3 receivers to the right, 2 out to the left. Empty backfield for Isaiah Green. Pressure coming up the middle, and he's wide open down the far side. It's Marcel Williams makes the grab. Marcel Williams had a beat, and then he was able to come back, make the adjustment, and then get out of bounds.
And just a great job running from the slot position. Defense Southern Miss calls what we call a cross dog, looping both of the linebackers to opposite sides and sending the defensive nose tackle to the right to apply the pressure. Great pickup by the offensive line.
I am ready to lead.
Ready to defend.
I am driven to go all in. I train for myself.
But I play for my team.
Whatever the score, we win.
For my coaches, my mentors, my parents, my teachers.
I am committed to success, to being the best I can be.
I am part of a family.
I am a son.
I am a daughter of Marshall.
This is where you find yourself. This is where you remember where you came from, what inspired you, where you pushed yourself, where you struggled, stumbled, and fell, but always got back up. Where you learned who you want to be, where you want to go, and what it takes to get there. The University of Southern Mississippi. This is where you soar.
Well, we've been asking you guys to send us your comments, your photos, everything going on at home and wherever you are, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on right here at the game that's just outside of the game. Now, this happened not long ago in the third quarter, and a military serviceman from California surprised his girlfriend here and proposed to her at the game. She was very shocked. She didn't even know he was going to be in town, I've been told. And it looks as though, I think she said yes. Congratulations. All right, well, I can't take full credit. The cheerleaders from Southern Miss right here by me right now. These are the ladies that brought it to my attention. Got to ask you guys, would you like to be proposed to at a game?
I like it when other people are, but me personally, I would freak out. I have to be. No, I think it's so sweet. Like, I would definitely want to be proposed to on the field.
Okay. I feel like I would honestly freak out, honestly, with 70 people in the crowd.
What about you?
I would definitely freak out.
All right, so everyone says it's a good idea. Okay, so guys out there, girls out there, propose to your loved ones at the game. We love to see it. Thank you guys for joining us here today, and continue to cheer well. Okay, Noah, back to you guys.
My wife would have had a much different answer. Anderson breaks the tackle, and a flag comes in the Southern Miss defensive backfield as we open up the fourth quarter in a 20-17 game with Southern Miss in front.
And got a couple down there on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 8. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So
First
Tyree
down.
Brady pushes Marshall back 10 yards. So look what Marshall has done over the past 2 games in the fourth quarter when they're running the ball. They've only thrown the ball 3 times in the fourth quarter combined over the last 2 weeks. Might be a little bit different story here since they trailed by 3, as they've outscored opponents 28-10, and they're gashing opponents for 9 yards per rush. But again, this one could be different without Tyler King in there, relying mostly on Keon Davis and Anthony Anderson. We've got a timeout. Southern Miss. That's their first of the half.
And if I'm Southern Miss, I'm going to be mindful of the rush, but Isaiah Green's starting to get some traction in the passing game, so need to see a little bit more diversity from the secondary as far as their coverages. Might need to see a little bit more zone coverage and see if they can hit home and not bring as many blitzers, because you look at the play that Marcel Williams has had has been when they've tried to blitz, bringing 5 or more, because it's a 3-4 front, that counts as a blitz, whereas if you're in a 4-down front, bringing 5 is just a dog, and you have to bring 6 for a blitz.
Coming up after this one, we'll have the Shula Bowl. FAU visits FIU. You can catch that game on Stadium at 7:30 Eastern Time, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium. Welcome to the game. See what FIU has done on defense in the +6. Anthony Anderson has nowhere to go. Brought down by 3-4 Southern Miss defenders, led by Sangster.
Yeah, Sangster in on the play, but also Rakeem Booth solidifying it, and Sherrod Ruff. So this defense is mindful of those numbers we just showed, that they've rushed for over 200 plus, and they've had success, 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So expect them to stiffen, and I think you have to see at least 4 guys start to apply pressure in the passing situations, give those DBs some help deep.
2nd and 19, ball into 32. Green all sorts of time. Throws to the far sideline. It is an incomplete pass. Or if they called it a completion, no, an incomplete pass.
Right. And just as I say, they need to bring some help in zone. They drop 8, cover 8 protection, and great throw. But the foot, I think, the toe was on the white when he made the catch.
It looked a little wide, and Brady couldn't make that grab with his feet in bounds, and it brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 19.
And sometimes as a quarterback, when you get those cover 8 guys dropping, you got to move the defense with your feet to find some options. So great job by Isaiah Green to move the ball, but at the same time, not enough space and real estate when the throw happened.
Timeout, Marshall, their first of the half. Blair thinks, given all this talk about proposals down on the field, he's shouting out Patrick Cox, who's also in the comment section. I don't know who they're all rooting for, but says shout out for his wedding in 1 week, November 10th, 2018 in Buffalo. Good luck, congratulations, enjoy it. Everyone always says, take your time, soak it all in. It's tough to do, but really, give it a shot.
But give it a shot?
No, yeah. Not a wedding, give it a shot. I'm saying give it a shot to try to soak it all in.
Oh, yes.
More photos from Instagram. You can send us all your photos where you're watching and even your Halloween costumes.
All right. Okay.
Come on, Herd. Move the ball.
Yeah. This is utterly amazing that he wore this outfit.
that photo's safe for Instagram?
Yeah, exactly.
No idea.
They're utters. They're utters. It's an utter mess, though.
It could have been. Yeah. Hashtag HerdVSUSM. Take all your Halloween photos, pictures of kids. I'll never get tired of it. Green forced to throw it away on 3rd and 19. See what Marshall decides to do here in Southern Miss territory. Rakeem Booth applied the necessary pressure, and Marshall will go for it here.
Gutsy play here.
They've been known to now just punt this deep. They've been known to do that.
Yeah, you call that the Ranger kick, but he's not deep enough yet. Let's see if he's going to actually change it. And if he moves deeper, which he is, that is a possibility for the Ranger quick kick.
That's exactly what they do. And Southern Miss will call for a fair catch and then tries to run it out, but calls for a fair catch at the 6. That's something that Marshall has done before. Let's go downstairs to Julie.
All right, well, thank you so much, Noah. I'm here with Southern Miss women's basketball coach, Joy Lee McNellis. Now, Joy, thanks for joining us here today. We know you're pretty busy. You've got a season coming up starting next week. Tell us what excites you about your team this year.
You know, we're a mixture of young and old, you know, and so anytime that you start the season, your adrenaline's flowing and there's a lot of excitement. But we feature Megan Brown, the lone senior on this squad, which is a special young lady to all of us here at Southern Miss, but especially to me, her head coach. Megan is expected to do so many things for us: leadership, perform on the court, make a difference for us in the classroom, make a difference for us in the community. And then also Shantae Hales, which is a junior for us, our point guard that has started her career here at Southern Miss, was our first team all-conference, our preseason all-conference. And so really and truly, that is the 2 players that have played the most minutes for us. And then we have 3 more that has played quality minutes, but 5 players that is expected to lead a host of newcomers. So it's going to be a challenge for us. Our non-conference schedule, you know, the features are Mississippi State, Tulane, you know, you've got South Alabama that's very good. We have Grambling that went to the NCAA tournament that'll be coming in here. Troy that went to the NCAA tournament will be coming in here. So we have a very, very good basketball team, teams that will be coming in to Reed Green. So I will tell you, we hope that our non-conference schedule is going to prepare us for an unbelievable Conference USA schedule.
Right, well, you certainly have your work cut out for you based on just all the teams you listed off there. What's your expectation for this group?
You know, I think anytime you want to compete for a championship, I mean, why toss it up if you're not going to be ready to compete for a championship? And that's what Lady Eagle basketball is all about. We're competing every day. We're competing against the game. We're competing against ourselves so that we'll be prepared when it's time to toss it up on the court to be able to compete against any opponent that walks in Reed Green.
Great. Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck this season.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Coach. Got a lot of love for the women's basketball team. Coming in from Michael and others on Facebook. Trying to escape their own end zone. A 2-yard gain on first down.
Not to mention, this is an area of concern. I'm sure Jay Hobson is watching with a very steady eye. They've had some big turnovers when pressed back against their own goal line in the background, so they need to get this out, at least get 1 to 2 first downs before they punt it.
Watley to Watkins. Watkins breaks one across the 20 to the 25-30. Watkins down the near sideline. Into Marshall territory. Quez Watkins knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line by Brandon Drayton.
And there's an injured Marshall player back at about the 13-yard line. That looks to be 35.
It's Frankie Hernandez. Leads FBS with 3 fumble recoveries this season, and so he limps off the field, and you see the replay of Watkins.
And just a big game for Quez Watkins, a short, a short play coming on, looked like a little kind of in and out, square in, and takes it down the sideline for a big gain. And remember everything I said about, getting 2 first downs before the punt? That's kind of erased right now. Great field position and great run by Watkins.
On first down, the handoff is to Mosley, and he is dropped in a hurry. It was Juwan Young, first one in the backfield, along with Channing Hames.
Yeah, Channing Hames has had a really solid game today, affecting the backfield. You see him crossing the face of the right guard, Foxworth, and just making a big play. I mean, it's been a good job by this Marshall defense. When they do hit, because they are slanting a lot, when they do hit, they're big, but they also leave themselves vulnerable on the backside because they are slanting for the big plays out the back door that Watley's had success with today.
Watley being chased by Tyler. Escapes one and gets out of bounds at about the 32.
And Watley's done such a great job of escaping the pressure, feeling his way naturally, and then skating out to the left and getting out of bounds, but getting some good yardage in the process. I have to say, for a true freshman, getting his first start today, he's had a very solid game thus far.
Folks on Facebook helping me out with a post-game meal, and Crescent City Grill has been on my list, and I think that's going to be the spot. Thank you, folks. Southern Miss with 3rd and 7, ball into 32. Watley's got a lot of time, goes to the far side. The pass is caught near the first down.
Right on the line. Jordan Mitchell coming up big, had a defender draped over his back, wearing him like a backpack. Look at Watley. Great block up front by the big guys, putting down Malik Thompson.
Pass was tipped too, and Chris Jackson was right there.
And yeah, Jordan Mitchell, sure-handed, just put 2 hands around it. What a great job. 4th and inches. Just a hair behind the 25-yard line where they need to get for the first down.
Bring in Anderson. Mosley goes out. 4th and inches. Snap goes over Watley's head. It's a free play. As the flag went down, he throws it out of bounds. Watley didn't know that was coming, but it's a free play to begin with. Southern Miss gets a break.
First down, automatic first down. Thank goodness.
I think some of the fans didn't see the flag, others did, so you had a mix of emotions from the crowd here at Roberts Stadium.
And I think because he jumped off sides, that affected the center, Trace Clopton, which affected that snap. Because he has to snap it if the guy jumps across, or
there is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback is outside the pocket and the pass reached the line of scrimmage. There is offside defense, number 94.
People started booing before they heard the whole thing. Got to listen to the referee till he finished talking.
Doc Holliday not pleased. Let's take another look at it. No, it looked like, I think Trace Clopton initiated that.
Yeah, he did. Because he can't touch the guy, so you got to snap it so it counts as offsides.
Like a little bit of a head fake, too, from Clopton. Nothing doing on first down. So we're 4 minutes through the fourth quarter. Patrick, a kick cap bar would be great right now. Thank you.
Yeah. And Steven Anderson is a very big receiver, running back, ladies and gentlemen. He's 6'2", 242. That is a big body in the backfield.
Imagine him as a high school quarterback, which he was. Watley escapes one, gets it off, and it's dropped by Mitchell a bit behind him. Amari Cobb once again on the pressure.
And Tate Watley doing a good job of avoiding the pressure, spinning out of the arms of number 31 for the defense, which is Omari Cobb, who's had success hitting the quarterback today and getting some big plays in the backfield. Misses him that time.
Watley up 3rd and 10.
Watley playing very loose with the football on a couple of these throws.
First career start for the true freshman from Lakeland, Florida. Watley looking into the end zone, has Jones, has a defender all over him, and the flag is down. Tamari Cobb on the coverage. The linebacker in coverage in the end zone, and he never turned around.
And Tim Jones, the intended receiver again for Watley. And yeah, it's been a bad day for the DBs as far as some of those passes.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. 15-yard penalty,
a lot of coaches
automatic
around
first down.
Country, Max, will tell you that these days it's tough to be a defensive back.
Yeah, it is tough. And Omari Cobb, but the biggest thing is, if you see the receiver, you can't grab the back of the jersey. I mean, that was an easy call. And that's what you can't do. And of course, Cobb covering a receiver at the linebacker position is already a mismatch in and of itself. And Cobb frustrated. He's on the sidelines. Another opportunity where they could have had them off the field on 3rd down, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Second penalty on this drive that's led to the first down, as you mentioned. Watley keeps it, has a block left side, comes back to the middle, and brought down at about the 2. That's his 20th carry of the day. He'd come in with 8 carries for 62 yards against Charlotte, and he's carried the ball 20 times today. No Tez Parks again for Southern Miss.
And a lot of dancing, a lot of shuffling, but you get positive yardage. Gainer there for a little bit of extra to help him get that yard. You always love when the big boys are pushing up front. But great job by Watley again, getting some positive yardage when tasked with running the football.
2nd and goal at the 2. And a great job. Watkins was there, and then a great job on the near side to bring him down for a tackle from Gant.
Yeah, Gant and Drayton both in on that, and we have a flag on the ground in the backfield.
That could be holding on Southern Miss.
Offense, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Holding on the tight end, Ja'Shawn Washington.
Second one of the contest for Washington. We saw him in the second quarter. Yeah, once again, once you get outside the body, got to let go. Nothing can be had if the defender's backpedaling and you're still engaged with him, and he's trying to pull away. You got to let your hands off of the guy.
Now 2nd and goal from the 12. Into the shadows. Watley into the end zone looking for Washington, and he overthrows him.
And that was overthrown. I had to wonder if the sun was in his eyes, because the sun's right in that opposite corner where he was looking and trying to get the touch on that football.
Southern Miss 2 for 2 in the red zone today, a touchdown and a field goal. Nancy rooting for the Herd to stop them. Tammy the other way for Southern Miss. One in motion, and Watley gets dropped. Marquise Couch. It's like in Tecmo Bowl and Nintendo, we used to pick the right play. That's exactly what Couch did in the backfield.
And you push him back. Marquise Couch just crashing down. They had a counter. It looked like a counter play was going on to the right-hand side, so Couch just gets right in the back hip of the left tackle and just finds Tate Watley and brings him down for a loss, and another field goal opportunity for the Golden Eagles.
Parker Schonfield from 33 yards out. It's a fake and into the end zone. It's dropped, but a penalty. So make that 3 penalties on a drive that result in a first down.
A third pass interference of the game for the Thundering Herd defense, and all coming at big moments.
Pass interference. Defense, number 8. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line.
So the holder is the
Automatic first down.
third-string quarterback, the redshirt senior Carter Hankins.
And you just see, I can't even get a beat on the number at that moment. I know
It's like intended for Ray Ladner, the second-string tight end.
And Ladner gets out, and looks like they also try and sneak out another guy, but Ladner there, and yeah, if I'm Brandon Drayton, I gotta look at the guy. You gotta look at the ball and then get back to the guy. And new set of downs inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they're on the 2, and Doc Holliday is not a happy camper.
11th play of the drive already. They've gone 78 yards. They need to go 2 more. And it looks like they're going to have to go 1 more. As Watley picked up 1. They'll hurry up from the half-yard line. They 3-point lead. Sneaking it in.
No signal yet. Looks like they're still short. Watley a little slow on that snap and deciding to push forward.
Now, when you've got Steven Anderson here, we talked about it, 6'2", 240. Give him the football.
That is a blunt object meant to hit things, and you're. This is what you need to do in this situation. Watley hasn't been under center all day except for these last 2 snaps. I would hand it off to Anderson, who's a big body.
It's Watley again.
There we go. 3rd time's the charm.
So 3 tries from the 2, and the true freshman has 1 in the end zone.
And see the snap this time, gets a little extra effort from the backside with King and Anderson pushing from behind.
So I didn't see,
The
I
previous
never
play
saw the
is under
touchdown
review.
sign come from the officials. I don't think he got in.
Yeah, came from the far side official.
One did come in?
He did come in. He signaled it early and ran in on it.
You got better eyes than I do. I never saw him, but I heard the fireworks, so I figured someone did. But looking at this, looking at the replay, from first look, it doesn't look like Watley got in.
No, it doesn't. When they re-showed it, I think, yeah, that's going to be a decision that's going to be looked at. You're going to see the same angles that we do. Oh, never mind. There you go. Got across the field. It's announced. So Watley add a rushing touchdown to the resume in your first start.
Love to see one of those angles again. A 13-play, 94-yard drive took 6 minutes and 23 seconds thanks to 3 penalties from Marshall that resulted in a first down coming on 3rd down.
And 2 of those big pass interferences.
He doinks it off the left post.
His first missed extra point of the season for Parker Schonfield. Coming into the day 20 of 20, and he's tied on 2 already, and now misses that third one.
The preseason Conference USA Special Teamer of the Year. So instead of a 10-point lead, it's a 9-point lead at 26-17 with 7:13 to go.
So still a two-score game. And I know if I'm Marshall, I have to figure out, I could have had this as a 1-score game with another field goal attempt, pass interference, now it's a 9-point contest. Tough hole to dig out of, but not impossible.
Let's go back down to the sideline and join Julie.
Well, guys, we've got lots of viewers who are putting in comments, sending photos to us, including a dog that is a little bit worried about the situation at hand. We have Lulu, the pug, is worried about the herd right now, and especially after that last play, I think that dog and any herd fans would be a little bit worried right now. We mentioned that Doc Holliday not in the best of moods at the moment. Now, fans who aren't in the top 4 of the college football playoff ranking wouldn't be in a great mood, but we have them here. The committee released the top 4 and beyond this week. We want to see if you guys agree with their selections. We, of course, have Alabama at 8-0, Clemson at 8-0, who had a huge win over Louisville earlier today, 77-16. LSU at 7-1, Notre Dame at 8-0. Now, guys, we know that Alabama and LSU are playing later on tonight. Something will shake up because of that. But Max and Noah, do you think that the committee got this right? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Max.
Yeah, I think the committee got it right. It's going to be interesting what happens if Notre Dame actually loses a game. How far do they fall down after a loss, and are they still in the tops with the 1-loss teams? But I think they got it right when you look at who's in the top 4, and then, of course, having Michigan right below that.
And I'll give them a thumbs up, but look, it's just the first rankings, and the first rankings usually don't mean anything. In the past 4 years, last year there was just 3 of the 4, and then so 1, and then 2, and 2 were out, and then the year before that, 3 of those teams were out. So there's going to be a shakeup, and the number 5 team has always got in. Julie, what do you think?
Well, guys, I got to go with a big thumbs up. I might be Canadian, but I'm a big Go Tigers girl. Let's get LSU in the top 4 this season.
Got a big one coming up later this evening against Alabama. And also another big one in the SEC today is Georgia and Kentucky, where the winner of that game takes the SEC East. Imagine if Kentucky wins the SEC East and somehow ends up winning the SEC championship.
That would be a whole mixed bag of
Although
cash.
they're down 28-9 at the moment as I'm just being shown the
well,
scores.
so much for that one. But what Kentucky's been able to do this season has been tremendous. They took down my Gators early on in week 3, and they've been on a roll. So it's going to be a tough contest for the Bulldogs and the Wildcats.
Isaiah Green back to work with his team down by 9. It's a wide throw and a bit wobbly, intended for Obialo.
Yeah, pressure coming from his left side, and the blitz is still on for Southern Miss. And you have to think they're going to try and mix in the pressure with some zone coverage, because he has thrown an interception today, and just try and keep him confused. He hasn't seen a lot of football in the last month or so, and this is still new for him, getting into a rhythm with his receivers.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman had come in with 8 touchdowns and 6 picks. Goes to the far side, this time connects with Obialo. Brought down by Ty Williams.
And a nice stop route, and Green puts it right on him for a solid first down play.
Jerry Howe, Robert Green, pleased with the Southern Miss effort thus far. 1st and 10, ball on their own 48 for Marshall. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Green steps up, flag. And what an awkward slide. Looked like Green could have hurt himself there.
Yeah. It's funny how not all the quarterbacks know how to baseball slide. Remember that was a big issue with RG3 when he first came into the league, because he didn't do
Personal
it at
foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 11. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Haven't said Sherrod Ruff's name very often. One of the first times we're calling his name today, and the recipient of a hands to the face.
And Ruff is over the left guard. He has hands. A little touchy on Keon Davis, the running back. Just goes up to block him. Looks like the left hand's kind of like a stiff arm. But touchy call, but hey, turns out for the best for Marshall.
Ball into Southern Miss 30. Green escapes one. Now a little shovel pass. Up ahead to Keon Davis. A heck of a play from Isaiah Green as he was being dragged down.
And the pressure came and just barely misses him, and he flips it out. A little toss out, a la Patrick Holmes and Tim Tebow.
Hand off to Keon Davis again, and he plows ahead. Close to the 20. Brought down by Xavier Marion.
You know, that previous pressure, that was Rakeem Booth coming off the edge to apply the pressure. But solid drive here. Marshall has to come away with the touchdown. With some time left, get back into this contest. They're only down 9.
1st and 10, ball in the 19 as we approach 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Green steps up. Had Brady and he overthrew him. Ty Williams on the coverage.
And pressure being applied by Sangster. And yeah, that was just a wobbly high pass. You know, Isaiah Green didn't really have his footing when he released that football and kind of sailed on him.
Just leaving those ribs exposed there.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Letha's ribs either.
That's right, we're not talking barbecue.
On 2nd and 10. Green comes near side, and he is dragged out of bounds by Marion.
Yeah, not much going there, and Green takes it for it. Looks like a 2-yard loss. You know, as you get experience, you understand when you get that sideline, fling it out to the sideline. You're outside of the tackle box. Don't take the 2-yard loss here. Yards are precious at this time.
Clock running. Marshall doesn't seem to be in much of a hurry. They're down 2 scores with 4:30 to go. Over the middle is Brady, a bit behind him too. Makes the catch and lost it. Ball is loose on the ground, and Southern Miss has the football. It's picked up by Rakeem Booth. There's a flag on the field.
Yeah, flag on the 25-yard line thrown after the recovery.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 30. Half the distance to the goal, Southern Miss keeps the ball. 1st down.
So it's after the play. So that'll be the 4th turnover from Marshall today.
Yeah, you can't hold the ball like a loaf of bread. Tyree Brady does a great job of that one-step drag across the middle, a little behind him. Sean Mitchell gets him there, and then it looks like it was Sangster.
Darius Kennedy.
Darius Kennedy, 24, comes in and pops the ball out, and Rakeem Booth recovers. And I think that's been the story of this day for the Thundering Herd. They've been close and just kind of falling apart, whether it's turnovers or whether it's been penalties on both sides of the ball.
And that's like what the Southern Miss squad's been doing all year. That's how they've been shooting themselves in the foot. Now backed up against their own end zone. A few yards through the middle, out to the 8.
And 4-minute offense in full effect.
So with 4:13 to go, it's a 9-point lead for Southern Miss. And they'll bring up 2nd and 6 on the 8.
And Marshall down to one more timeout. They know what Southern Miss is trying to do, run that clock out. and trying to do that. So they're going to have to utilize these timeouts and look for a 3-and-out.
So 4 turnovers have resulted in 17 points for Southern Miss. Take a look around the league. UTEP and Rice, a 34-16 lead for the visitors, and Tennessee up 14-3 on Charlotte. Later on, La Tech is at Mississippi State. I think La Tech's gonna give them a game.
Yeah, I think so as well.
FAU, FIU, you can see that game after us on Stadium, and later on also UTSA at UAB. I like FIU tonight as well. We'll be headed down there for FIU and Marshall the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the
That's Saturday game.
Showdown.
Across the 10, and he continues to drive his feet. Does Steven Anderson.
Anderson carries to the 13-yard line. Timeout. That will be Marshall. Their final. Please reset the game clock to 4:05.
So Marshall calls their final timeout with 4:05 to go.
And Amari Cobb was in on the stop there, well, the eventual stop, I should say, of Steven Anderson. And Marshall running out of opportunities and time. No more timeouts left. So if Southern Miss can convert this 3rd down and keep the sticks moving, they're going to be able to chew off at least another 1.5 to 2 minutes off the clock just running the football.
Up next for Southern Miss, they're at UAB next week, and they'll close with 2 here in Hattiesburg against Louisiana Tech. We'll be back in town for that one, and then end up on the 24th. They'll close out the regular season against UTEP, and for Marshall, 2 more at home against Charlotte and UTSA, and then that finale at FIU. And on 3rd and 1, like Southern Miss is even trying to go forward with it.
Yeah, trying to go forward, but a great timed up leap by the linebacker. Not sure if that was Cobb or Cobb or Hancock. Oh, it was Cobb. Okay. That jumped over the top, timed the snap perfectly, and forced a 2-yard loss there on the play. A little bit of a giveaway when Watley comes running up to the line of scrimmage because, like you said, he's been in the shotgun or the pistol formation all day, and the only time he's actually taken a snap from under center has been for a quarterback sneak.
Now they'll let the play clock run down and the game clock run down and call that timeout. They've got 2 left, so with 3:17, and Southern Miss now just has to be careful about punting from deep in their own zone.
Yes, because earlier in this contest, they gave up a touchdown off a botched snap.
So with 3:17 to go in the 4th quarter, let's go back down to Julie.
Well, guys, as we know, lots of suspense late in this game, and everyone is checking in from all over the country as to where they are watching this game. We've got a baby, the Herd's newest fan. Maris is cheering on her favorite team. It's got to be one of her first games. She looks pretty young there. Of course, football watching and baby cuddling. Also a very newborn baby. That's from Abby Hanlon. And we love babies, we love dogs. Thank you guys for sending in all of your photos. Make sure you keep sending them in and comment on Facebook. Now, of course, Marshall is looking to get back into this game right now, and they'll be looking for some help from redshirt junior safety Malik Gant. He has had a bit of an unlikely career, had 0 offers coming out of high school, was a walk-on in 2015, got a scholarship in 2017, and is arguably one of the team's best players. He was the MVP of spring ball, according to Doc Holliday, and he's on the 2018 Thorpe watch list. Now, I had a chance to speak with him. He told me he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He said, every time I go out onto the field, I remember I was not chosen. I want to prove every school wrong with my play. He said he gets a lot of inspiration from Jawan Young, just in how they go out there, they make it their mission to seek and destroy. Now, we want to know from you guys out there, who do you think has been the Facebook player of the game or play of the game as well? We're not sure what the result is, but if you have a question for a coach, whether it's Doc Holliday, whether it's Jay Hobson, we're not sure yet, Put them in the comments on Facebook. Keep sending those pictures, hashtag HerdVSUSM, and we'll have to see what the outcome is. Guys.
Thanks, Julie. I think there could be any number of players. Was Watkins with the touchdown that was significant. He's got 79 yards receiving, and Southern Miss just gets the punt away as well out near midfield. Again, dangerous up against your own end zone.
Very dangerous, but Southern Miss gets the ball out barely, but this is going to be a true test. How fast can you score as Marshall to at least have an opportunity at, you know, running an onside kick or some type of gimmick to get the ball back, but you got to take shots towards the end zone. Need the offensive line to block up front. Expect Southern Miss to come with, I would say, at least a 4-man pressure, if not dropping back into cover 8 prevent defense. We'll see here, but they're spread out pretty good.
It's like got Brady against Artis Johnson here on the near side. Got to think Green goes that way. Instead he goes the other way, and there's nothing doing. So Xavier Gaines.
And Southern Miss playing cover 8 on the back end. That means rushing 3, dropping 8, trying to protect all the gaps in the zone, not letting anybody beat you deep behind you.
That's my fault. I should say Rashawn Mitchell on the near side. Just mixed up the 21s. Pass is dropped by Keon Davis.
Now this is truly 4-down territory for Marshall, so if they don't get a completion on this one, they're definitely coming back with a 4th down. But I want to see Isaiah Green throw the ball downfield. Just have a couple guys run a streak route straight down the field and give them a 50-50 ball. At this point, you have nothing to lose, because if you do turn it over, this game is in effect going to be over with.
3rd and 12. Ball on the 48. Green's looking left, facing all sorts of pressure, and he's knocked down. Pressure coming from Darian Yancey. And it brings up 4th and 12.
Yancey already has a touchdown on the game, but just pure effort. 3-man rush, pure effort by Yancey. He slips down, gets back up, retraces, and gets a hit. Cover 8, prevent defense, 3-man rush.
Marshall on 4th down, 9 for 11 this season. Make that 10 for 12 as Marcel Williams has the catch at about the 32.
Good job by Green, staying patient and waiting for Williams to clear the zone right here on the inside, and just catches it right in the gap. Just sits down, catches it in the gap between 3 defenders.
Heaves it into the end zone, has a man there, and he overthrows Willie Johnson. Good coverage from Ty Williams and others. Thinking about that player of the game, maybe it is Yancey.
Yancey is, I mean, but I have to go with Tate Watley, first career start. And had some solid running. I mean, rushed the ball 20 times. So Watley's probably my front runner, but I think right behind him is a Darian Yancey.
I might just want to give it to the entire Southern Miss defense and have Julie do an hour post-game just interviewing everybody.
Just going right down the line.
Sure,
with the
why
microphone.
not? 2nd and 10. Keon Davis not on the same page.
And now we see Southern Miss, after that previous completion, bring a little bit more pressure, bringing 4- and 5-man pressures, dog and blitz to affect Green, get in his face.
Marshall's only gone scoreless in the 4th quarter just one other time this year. It was in a 17-point loss at home to NC State. Need to get on the board here. Drop off to Davis. Keon Davis across the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds by Rashawn Mitchell.
And when you're playing a prevent and playing a back-off defense, you're preventing everything from getting over the top of you. The problem is you leave a lot of the underneath open, but also on the good side of your Southern Miss, you're still keeping them out of the end zone even though they're converting first downs. And a lot of time coming off that clock since they started this drive.
$1:54 to go. Facing heat in the backfield, it's Marcel Williams, and cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. Ruff and others in the backfield.
And a great job by Southern Miss keeping everything in front of them and kind of pressing it. Yeah, they've given up 2 first downs in this drive, but they've kept everything in front of them. Nobody has really escaped out the back door or blown the top over their coverage. And you're throwing these and hoping guys get to the outside and can get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Second and 13 from the 23. More pressure, and this time Green goes down. It's Sherrod Ruff. Ruff's team high 5th sack of the season.
And Ruff just kind of green dogging, what we call eyeing the quarterback, and once he makes a decision, he's blitzing right in the inside, and he hits home.
Deep on 3rd and 20 into the end zone, looking for a flag, and they get it. That's all that throw was.
Yes, it
Looking
was.
for the flag in the corner of the end zone. With Obialo and Ty Williams going at it.
15-yard
And hands were
automatic
all
first down
over the receiver, regardless if it went over his head. Look at hand on the chest, and can't do that, Ty Williams. He's a better defensive back than that. And, you know, you give them a fresh set of downs, move the ball forward. Ty Williams had a solid game thus far, and, you know, committed really one of his first main penalties of this game. He had the interception earlier in this contest. This was the first turnover for Southern Miss.
Keeps it alive with 1:16. 1st and 10 from the 15. Green into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Artie Henry III, his first touchdown of the season.
And what a great job Henry does. He's playing the inside slot to the left-hand side of the offense and just runs this post route, running right up to the feet of the safety and then making an in cut, which gave him inside leverage and right into the end zone. So good score for Marshall here, extra point on the way, and this could be a 2-point ball game.
Reese Rogers, you're right. Hold the phone. Extra point is good, makes it a 26-24 game with 1:11 to go as we prepare for the onside kick.
Yeah, that's the only thing you could do at this point is do an onside kick and try and get that magical bounce that everybody's looking for. Let's take another look at the touchdown. Yeah, post route, and Artie Henry beats the other Henry for Southern Miss for the touchdown.
Now, this is something that is worked on every day in practice, the onside kick.
Yeah, work on it at least 2 different segments throughout the week with special teams, getting ready, trying to get the perfect bounce, but it's all about the moment. You know, will the kicker get the right pop? Can you ID the right hole to kick it into? And can those guys get to the point before Southern Miss can? And I apologize, I said Henry, but it's actually, it was Kyle Hemby. Jerseys, a little tough to read sometimes.
Timeout from Southern Miss, their last of the ball game, and they'll regroup before preparing for the onside kick.
Big moment here for Southern Miss. If they can secure this, they can secure the victory, take 2 good knees, and be out of this contest with another victory, extending that win streak to 3 against Marshall, and handing Marshall another loss on the season, knocking them to 3-2 in conference play. They had aspirations in that third hole. Moving forward, if they can run out and have that FIU game at the end of the year, potentially play for the championship, that all hangs in jeopardy right now with this onside kick.
As they were looking to be scoreboard watching later tonight, our crew down in Florida for FIU, FAU.
Chris Hassel, AJ Hawk.
Kristen Balboni down there for a 7:30 Eastern kick on Stadium. And here we go. It's fielded cleanly, but a flag is down.
Probably an offsides on the kicking team.
Usually is, and it's Jordan Mitchell who has it.
Offside, kicking team, number 7. 5-yard penalty added
That's exactly
to the end
what
of the
it
return.
is. And
first down, Southern Miss.
Southern Miss is going to come out of this one winning a game, Max, that is a game that they've lost throughout the season. The costly turnovers, and they had a few, but this time they actually got a few more back.
Yeah, the key is at the end of the day, yes, you want to be positive in the turnover battle, but always giving up less than you get is always a recipe for success. So that will extend their win streak with +2 turnover margin. And right there you see Doc Holliday, not a happy camper by his team's performance. Very uncharacteristic of this Marshall team throughout the season. You're missing Tyler King, your leading rusher. You have a quarterback change midway through that game. So Doc Holliday's going to take 24 hours and shake this off and regroup, because they still have a gauntlet to face to finish out this season and get to a bowl game.
Jay Hobson's going to move to 3-0 against his former employer, and nobody ever likes that, with Chris Jackson racing into the backfield. And might have a few words between these two teams after that as Southern Miss comes onto the field to celebrate a victory. So the true freshman, Tate Watley, in his first career start, goes 16 for 25, 134 yards. And then on the ground, 25 carries for the quarterback. So he had just as many carries as he did throwing attempts, 25 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. But maybe most significantly, 4 turnovers from Marshall led to 17 points for Southern Miss in a 26-24 win for Southern Miss to improve in this rivalry to 8-6 as they've won their last 3 over the Thundering Herd.
And a great job by Jay Hobson's squad. He talked about the youth and, you know, obviously a lot of turnover at the offensive line position, shuffling guys around. Tate Watley making his first career start for the Golden Eagles, but this defense played exceptional today. You look at the multiple turnovers, you look at the different ways they've scored offensively, but the defense really holding this Marshall offense in check today.
Let's go downstairs to Julie, who's hanging out with Coach Hobson.
Well, thanks so much, Noah. Coach, congratulations. You told us yesterday you wanted to do a better job of taking care of the ball on both sides of the field. How would you rank your execution?
Well, we did some good things today, but there's still some things we got to continue to get better. I'm waiting for that complete game, and but I see those flashes, you know, and our guys played hard. They kept fighting. There was some adversity that struck there. We had a few missed executions, but I'm proud of this football team. They battled back from a lot, and they continue to battle. So love the guys to death, and we just got to continue battling, and just proud of them.
Now, speaking of one member, freshman quarterback Tate Watley, what did you think of his first start?
He did a good job. Tate was a gritty performance. One thing about him, he's a competitor. You know, he doesn't mind throwing his body around out there, and he did a great job today for his first start and a win against a good Marshall team. You got to give the young man a lot of credit.
2 more wins you need, and then you get a bowl game berth. What do you want to see continue?
We're going on the next week. We're on a journey to get better every day, and that's what we have to do. So hopefully we'll come out Monday and be better and just continue on.
Well, enjoy the win. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Coach. For my broadcast partners, Max Starks and Julie Stewart-Binks, I'm Noah Kozlov saying good afternoon from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The final score, Southern Miss 26, Marshall 24. For more live games, replays of classic games, and daily original studio programming, visit watchstadium.com or search Stadium in your local channel guide. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everyone.